Hello, welcome everyone to episode 2 of Ignite the Podcast. I'm your host, Joshua Cuthbertson, and today my guest is Scumro.
How you going, man?
Thanks for coming on, bro.
That's all good, bro. Thanks for having me.
Scumro has been rapping since 2018. He has released 9 songs. He has performed under Shadow, Checkmate, Shulks, Damien Ellick, and Wombat. He has done a performance for called Flow for Floods, charity show for the New South Wales floods that happened this year. He has done 10 live performances, and he's also a good friend.
Yeah, 100%, bro.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Fucking pleasure to be here, bro.
We just had a pretty good conversation, haven't we, for the last
already
half
opened
hour?
up pretty well. Yeah, fucking got all warmed up and shit. So
Yeah.
ready to go. Got coffees.
Yep, we got the coffee, we got the joints.
Ready to
blaze. Let's do it.
100%.
Fuck yeah. So tell me, Scumro, it's Corey.
Yeah.
How did this all start for you?
Oh, fuck, man. It was actually right down the road, like legit right down the road where the high school is. I left school one day, so I was walking around at school once, and I wagged like a bunch of periods. I think it was from like period 2 to like the last period of school. I just sat in the student services watching rap battles, like watching the Cursor rap battles, like all of them. And at recess and lunchtime, I'd leave and I'd walk around and I'd just start freestyle, like rap battling random cunts. Like they wouldn't be talking back to me or nothing, you know what I mean? I'd just go up to them and just start rapping and just bagging them and shit. Like just taking the piss, like not actually bagging them, like just having some fun and stuff. And one of my mates was like, "You can actually freestyle." And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, you can actually rap, jive." And I was like, "Oh, true. Not bad." And I knew one of my mates loved producing beat. He loved making beats and all that sort of shit. And I messaged him that day. I'm like, "Yo, man, fucking send me like a sad type of beat, you know what I mean? Something that like, you know, that'll fit the vibe I'm looking for." And he decided to send me a beat, and I left school that day and I started walking home and I just started writing from there. I just started writing and I walked from the high school to the skate park, like where I live. And by the time I got home, I'd wrote a whole verse. And I went to my mate's house, Jaden, for that night, and we always used to go kick it up at his house and shit. Everyone would kick it there. And I rocked up there and like we're all hanging out and shit. And I just said like, "Oh yeah, boys, fucking I wanna show you a rap. Like I'll show you I wrote something today." And everyone kind of looked at each other, like everyone's just like, "Really? Like seriously?" And I'm thinking like, oh, like I could see straight away, like people looking at each other, like trying to hold back a laugh and shit. Because everyone would have expected it to be shit. Like I can already picture what they were picturing, sort of thing. You know, if you get what I mean. And once I started rapping, like one of my mates got his camera out and shit, like ready to film because like it was gonna be funny and shit. And I hit him with this. It was like trying to escape this mind state, and when I'm high, mate, my eyes dilate, and then I fly away to a greater place where the grass is green and the cops don't chase. And I did like a whole verse like after that, and everyone was like, "What the fuck?" Like kind of like surprised. Like everyone was like, "What the fuck? It's actually good."
And it's like, where did that come from?
Yeah, exactly, man. Like someone put it on their Snapchat story. People were screen recording it, sharing it, going, "I'm fucking so proud of you. Can't believe this," and all that sort of stuff. And from that night, it was like, oh, I could rap. You know what I mean? Like,
I could rap.
Yeah, like, all right, true. So I started writing heaps more. I started writing. And then every word got out that I was rapping and shit. Like everyone on Instagram and like, you know, like just all the people in the East Side area, Lilydale, Brisbane and shit. Everyone just started going, "Oh, Corey can rap," and all that sort of shit. I didn't drop any songs or anything. And then I started working on this song, like, "This Is Me, Royce Play," like my first song I've got dropped. And I showed all my mates that and they loved it. And I was like, "Oh yeah, fuck it, I'll have to record it then." And one of my old mates, Sean, he was a rapper as well. And he was fucking pushing me to record it heaps. And he's like, "Yeah, fuck it, we'll record it." And recorded it at mine with like a bunch of homies over. I had like a bunch of friends from school and shit came over and I recorded it. And like in a room full of people and shit, it was like full crowded room, and I've just recorded this song with a bunch of people in the room. It was so stupid because there's just so many people, risk of recording and shit. And yeah, I dropped that, made a post like, oh yeah, no, I recorded the song, made a post like, yeah, I'm going to be dropping this song, and a bunch of people liked it. And then all of a sudden, like I've dropped it, and we're out the back of mine at my music going, how many plays do you reckon it'll get on the first night? I'm thinking, like maybe like a couple hundred or something, maybe. And that night, I'm pretty sure it got like a few thousand plays, like a few thousand in a night. It was like a massive surprise, and everyone fucked with it really
What?
hard.
First night you got 1,000 views.
It was over a couple thousand, I'm pretty sure. It was like 1,000, 1,500, 1,500, 2,000 or something.
Was this on Instagram or Spot?
This is on SoundCloud.
Yes, shit.
So on SoundCloud, I've just posted my shit, and then everyone fucked with it, got heaps of comments and shit. And then I was like, fuck yeah, I can rap. Here we go. And then I dropped a second song. I started writing another song, dropped my second song, airing out not long after. It was just kind of like, I was still hyped up for my first track. Yeah, let's drop a second one. And then I did that. And yeah, that got like, I think it's like 20-something thousand on SoundCloud. And then my mum dropped a TikTok of me, like when I was writing. Like I was just rapping in my studio, and my mum like recorded me secretly and dropped a TikTok of me. Like, oh, look at my son rapping, and it got like fucking over a couple 100,000 views. Like so many people liked it, and heaps of people commented on it. Like so many tons. And then that blew my first song up more again. Like it blew it up. People all over Australia were listening. Like I go on my SoundCloud stats, you got people everywhere listening to it in Australia. I've got people from Brisbane messaging me going like, I love your music, man. I heard you on This Is Me, your mum. I saw your mum's TikTok, and that's how I got onto your music. So many people got onto my music through my mum's TikTok. And yeah, like after that, engineer dude that's worked with a lot of people in the scene, shout outs to DJ Deno, he saw that TikTok. And he messaged my mum and goes, oh, how would you, I want to get your son in to come record and all this sort of stuff.
Whoa.
But the thing is, I think they actually had a disagreement on Facebook or something first.
Okay.
So my mum had a disagreement with this bloke on Facebook because my mum posted something or something. I can't remember. And they had a little argument. Then they actually ended up getting along. And then he goes, oh yeah, how would your son like to come record and all this sort of stuff? And I was like, oh yeah, cool, fuck yeah. And I didn't know this dude's status or anything. I'm just like, oh yeah, someone to go record with. Fuck yeah, cool. He wants to record with me. You know, he doesn't want to charge me. Fuck it, why not? I rock up, and he's got all these tour badges like hanging down. Like
what badges?
Like tour badges and
Oh,
shit.
tour badges.
Like,
yeah,
for,
right.
like going on tours and shit for like for different artists and shit. He's got all these artists I look up to. Like Complete, like all that sort of shit. And he's showing me all these unreleased songs from like all my favorite artists, like Complete and Cogs and all that sort of shit. And instantly I was like, this cunt's sick. Like, this cunt's awesome. And I ended up recording with him. I recorded I think a couple songs or a song with him. Fucking hated it. Like I hated it. I hated it. It never got released or anything. And it was a real deep song. I recorded it and I didn't like it. And yeah, I ended up fucking getting cut with him. I was like, or he got cut with me or something because I didn't like how it was mixed or something. I was like, oh no, I don't really like it. I was the biggest critic to my own music. I hated my music. So, and I think he might have took it as like I was insulting his mix on the song. And I was like, oh fuck it, I fucked it up. But ended up going back to his to record like a year or two later or something like that. And I recorded a couple of tracks. And yeah, he's just from there, like he put me on to the Flows for Floods show that I did. And that was like under Shadow, Checkmate, Shooks, and like Damien Illick and all those sorts of people. And those are like people that I've like, grown up like hearing about and like talking about and like watching videos and all that sort of shit.
You're with the Giants.
Yeah, and then I got chucked on this show. And I'm thinking like, holy fuck. And I was, I can't remember what was happening. My mate actually, with that show, my mate, Jaden, he was locked up at the time, and I was going through like a bunch of shit, and it wasn't really good because like every time I'd rock up to a show, I'd have like all my mates there and stuff, and Jaden would always be there, like because like just tight as fuck and shit.
Yeah. And
he wasn't there. Like that was like my first show, like he wasn't really there and shit. Like I normally have him on stage, like doing backups or whatever. Just like being able to share the moment with him and shit, like it wasn't there, sort of thing. And I kept thinking about it. It just kind of threw me off the whole night. and like the people there were just kind of like all over the joint sort of thing. I was like, fuck this, and I rocked up real late. I rocked up when my set was starting.
Oh wow.
So I normally get real nervous before a show. I need like an hour to like settle in and like get ready and shit. And we ended up rocking up at the time of my set. So it was like I'd never performed to a sold out show or anything. Every show I'd done before then had been like 10 people. You know what I mean? Like nothing, like no people at all. And I rocked up to the show. I rocked up through the entrance. I'm already nervous as fuck, shitting myself. I rock up and it's a sold out show. I walk up the stairs and it's full of people. And I'm thinking, holy shit, holy shit. Then I hear, as soon as I walk in the fucking room, Scumro, if you are here, get on stage now.
Oh, so they've been asking you for a few minutes then.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, yeah, and I'm like, oh, get fucked. And I think, and Deno was on the deck. And I'm like, fuck, he's gonna be cut at me. And I walk up, I'm like, hey man, sorry, bro. And he's just like, all good. Gave him my mic, and I just performed and had I just like
Just got thrown in there.
yeah, sort of thing. And I was really off that night. I was really off, and I was surprised at how many heads actually turned that sort of thing. Because in the songs I performed, I'm talking real shit and all that sort of stuff. And like, when it comes to real shit, people don't really care. If they know you come from something, they'll always show props to you, sort of thing. And that's what I really liked. That was my first night, kind of experiencing what the scene's like. I was always nervous as fuck. Like, oh, I'm scared what people are going to think and all this sort of stuff. Or what if they think I'm not good? But, I'm just sharing my story sort of thing. So they didn't really, but everyone in the room was just like, fuck yeah, that's sick. And like, I had a dude up the front and he knew my lyrics and he was rapping my lyrics and he was loving it. Shit. I'm thinking like,
whoa.
And I'm looking at him and it's Damien Illick. Dude that I've been listening to and shit like that. And like I've used to watch, there's this cypher called Connection Cypher. It's a cypher with a bunch of different artists in Melbourne, rappers and all that sort of shit. They come in, just do like a huge cypher and jump on it. And he's on that and shit. And I recognised him from that. I'm like, oh my fucking God, that's Damien Illick and he knows my lyrics and shit. Holy shit. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God. And I have Deno to thanks to that because Damien Illick goes and records with Deno. And Deno was showing Damien some of my shit and all that sort of stuff. And
Deno is the engineer.
Yeah. So big ups to Deno because he's really fucking put me on over the past couple of years and everything. Just because, and he's never asked of anything from me or anything like that. He's just seen my potential and he's put me on in so many different ways. So yeah, big ups to DJ Deno. That dude's a mad cunt.
Wow. Not a bad first show.
Oh no, it wasn't my first show. It was like it was my first proper show.
Right,
like, it was my first. So every other show I've been to, they've all been at Laundry Bar in Fitzroy.
Okay.
But there's this thing they do called there's these two different types of shows. One of them's called It's a Rap, and the other one's called The Next Crop. And they're just like kind of for the small upcoming artists and all that sort of stuff that need someone to perform and all that sort of shit.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a small bar.
Yeah, so it's like a two stories. So you got a downstairs bar with like a little stage and shit, But I like downstairs because it's got like booths and all that sort of shit. But then you got upstairs, which is just like an empty room with a fucking stage. And I've performed downstairs a few times. I did battle rap downstairs. I did we'll get into that soon. I performed upstairs a few times, and it'd only be people that I'd bring that would come and see me, sort of thing. Yeah. Like no one would actually look at my Instagram and go, "Oh, let's go see Scumro." You know what I mean? It would always just be my mates that would come and watch me and shit, which was always cool. But the Flows for Floods show, that was just like a bunch of motherfuckers I didn't even know.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. And the only time apart from that I've performed at like a sold out show was actually like this is a cool story. Big ups to Wombat. He was performing at Laundry Bar in it was like November, it was last month. But he was performing at Laundry Bar a week after he performed at Billboards, and because he did a show at Billboards and it got shut down because someone got stabbed in the mosh pit. And I was right next to where it happened because I went to it was my first big rap event that I went to apart from Cursor, because I went to one of Cursor's underage events, one of his I went to the Sickest tour. I went to the Melbourne one of that at Prince Band Room. apart from that, I hadn't been to any other hip hop shows or anything like that.
Yeah.
Never been to a show. I went and saw Eminem at the MCG. That's it. And so I never really got the feel for like hip hop shows unless I was performing, sort of thing. And that was a Flows for Floods show. So I never got to see what it's like to see artists. You know what I mean? I never got to be in the front row and like watch. You know what I mean? And I went to billboards and I was lining up for Wombat, and we got there early because I'm like, nah, I got to go up the front and all that sort of shit. Alex Jones is going to be there, Wombat and shit. I've got to fucking get in there. And we lined up real early, and there's a bunch of people rapping in the crowd and shit. And I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, I'll do it. And I just start rapping in the crowd. Everyone in the line was just like, what, fuck yeah, loving me and shit. And it just gave me this huge ego. But yeah, fuck yeah, sick. And then we went into Wombat, and the energy was sick. I actually quit Chuff that week as well. So it was like high on life completely. Like, I'll explain that in a sec. Crazy. Like, ended up going in there. It was a sick night, but it got shut down. And I'm like, fuck it, we're going to the next week's show because it got shut down.
Shut down like halfway through.
Yeah, it was halfway through. So I think there was 45 minutes left of his set, or half an hour left of his set. It was only halfway through his set. And
how did the guy go that got stabbed?
Yeah, he's all good. He ended up going to the next show. He got backstage and stuff for free and all that sort of shit. He ended up being all good. But the dude that stabbed someone at that show went to Lilydale Station that night and stabbed the kid. Remember how there was a stabbing at Lilydale Station not long ago?
Oh, no, I actually didn't hear about
there was
that.
a stabbing at Lilydale at like fuck knows what time in the morning or whatever. Kid got stabbed in the face or some shit. And it was the same dude that stabbed the cunt at the Wombat show.
Stabbed in the face.
How fucked.
That guy's got some demons. Shit. No, I was not aware of this, man.
Yeah, and it was like the first night experiencing a cool show. And it just ended early. I'm like, no, fuck that, we're going to the next show.
Yeah. So next week was better.
Yeah, and I was battling on Thursday that next week as well. And I'm like, yeah, no, fuck, we're going to that show at Laundry Bar. And I was battling at Laundry Bar the night before. And I battled, so I went there and it was, fuck, man, no judges. It was crowd volume that judged who won the rap battles and stuff. And I had to verse 3 different people in one night sort of thing. And I washed all 3 people that I versed, right? Except this one dude that I versed, I saw him at the start of the night and he had a bunch of chicks with him. And I'm thinking, winners decided by crowd volume, and this dude brought a bunch of chicks with him, sort of thing.
Ha.
And I'm thinking, for fuck's sake, I've rocked up with my missus and a couple of my mates, and this dude's got like a whole group of chicks. I'm thinking, oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I wouldn't have thought of that, but that's actually really like quick to think that, and that actually makes sense too. Yeah. I would have thought he was just trying to show off at first, but yeah, I mean, you got like a crowd of women. I mean, they can squeal, man.
That's right. And it was good. Look, I got so cut on the night because I brought my A game, you know, and I was broke as fuck, and the winner was getting a grant, and I brought my A game because I needed that money. I'm like, I want that fucking money. I don't care about, I don't care about reputation, none of that. I just want the money. And so I went in there hungry as fuck, and I wiped out a couple of cunts. I made the first dude I versed, I just washed him, and he just made himself look like a dickhead.
You were a hungry lion.
Yeah, and the second dude, I made him choke. Like it was like full 8 Mile shit, like proper, like he full choked and
choked on stage. Wow.
Yeah, but I wasn't bagging him about it because I understood like sort of thing. Like I was scared I was going to choke as well, so I'm thinking like, fuck that. You know what? I'm not going to bag the cunt. I'm not going to use it to my advantage. Like I wanted to see him have a good night as well. So he was on stage and I could see he was getting real fucking nervous. He was like, fuck's sake, he was choking and shit. And I'm like, no, it's all good, bro. And I was like wheeling him up on the mic. I'm like, no, it's all good, bro. Fucking make some noise and shit like that. Everyone
right.
Fucking...
So just after you got him to choke, then you can like,
yeah. So
you went on and then you were giving him encouragement.
Yeah. So he was choking, and while he was choking, trying to battle me, I'm still going, come on, bro. Fucking, it's all good, man. Come on, it's all good. Fucking keep going. Fuck him. Who cares what they think? Keep going. It's all good.
Yeah.
And like he was, and he ended up giving up. And he's just like, you know what, fucking, give the money to Scumro. You've got it. And he just said like, it's all good. Jumped off stage and shit. And I went up to him after. I'm like, fucking good, bro. Good try, bro. You fucking gave it your best crack and shit. And he said, like, look, bro, I just want to say straight up, I really appreciate that. Like, how you weren't bagging me or nothing like that. And he said, like, straight up, I'm performing at Wombat tomorrow. I'm going to perform here tomorrow for Wombat. And he had a tattoo of a grave behind his ear. And he's like, swear on my pop's grave. Like, I will fucking, because of what you did tonight, I'll bring you back in the green room for 10 minutes or something. You can come kick it with Wombat.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, cunt. Like,
That's-
holy shit.
that's
Because
karma,
Wombat's
man.
someone I've been listening to for like since I was in year 8, long before I started playing, like making music and stuff. Like someone I've
Yeah.
always been like, holy shit. You know what I mean? And I was so G'd up. I'm like, oh my God, like, holy fuck, all this happened. And we jumped on a live with him a couple of weeks before, and he knew who Brad was. Brad
Yeah,
White.
right.
Yeah, he knew who Brad was because Brad walked out to one of his songs, and I sent it to him, and I tagged him in my story and
That's
stuff.
sick.
And he
yes.
replied, and he's like, fucking Mad Cunts boys. And then we joined his live a couple of weeks before his show, and he was like, oh, Mad Cunts, Scumro, Great White, and he knew who we were. And so this dude, K-Mac, that I battled the night before, said that, yeah, no, what? The next day, he's like, you know what? Why don't you come to the hotel? Why don't you come kick it with us? And I'm like, fuck, all right. And then he didn't reply to me for ages. I'm like, fuck, this cunt's talking shit. Like, I'm not going to be able to see Wombat. But we'll go on a show anyway. No, we were going to rock up a couple of hours early and shit. Like, you know, he ended up stopping replying to me. I'm like, no, this cunt's talking shit. It's all good.
Okay.
But he ended up replying later on. He wasn't talking shit. But
yeah, so he's just busy.
we've rocked up to Laundry, and we're a couple of hours early. We were going to go get a feed, get a drink or something, and we just hear across the road like, "Oh, Great White, Scumro." We're like, "What?" And we like turn around, and it's Alex Jones, Wombat, that K-Mac dude, and like a couple other dudes and shit. I'm like, holy fuck, my nuts went straight up into my stomach. Like as soon as that shit happened, I'm like, oh my God, we're walking across the road. And he's just like, oh, what's up, boys? Fucking pleasure to meet you. Fucking Great White, Scumro. Fucking came up to us and just like shook our hands and shit. Pleasure to meet you, boys and shit.
Motherfucker, I got chills. I got goosebumps.
Yeah, bro.
Dude.
Even talking about it now, it's getting me J'd up. And he's like, you know what? Like, fuck it, you're rolling with us. And we're like, bullshit. And then he brings us into Laundry doing the sound checks to do sound checks. So they performed in front of us in an empty room and performed the tracks and shit.
Wow.
And the sound dude, Jesse at Laundry, he's like, oh, fucking give Scumro the mic. And he's like,
while you guys are doing the sound checks?
While Wombat and shit are doing their sound checks. And like, I've gone up to him like, oh, fucking pleasure to meet you, bro. Fucking I look up to you, man. Like, gone up to Alex Jones, said the same shit. And people have kept going up to Wombat and going, wait, that's Scumro, dude can rap. And he would have heard it every day with random cunts and going, yeah, whatever. And Jesse's going, yeah, give Scumro the mic. And Wombat's like, yeah, all right, eh? And he gives me the mic, and I just start rapping real fast over like a grime beat that they've got on. And he's like, what the fuck? Like trying to spun out a bit. He was like, holy shit. And we went out into the smokers, and he's like, fucking show me more of your music, man. I showed him like some of my shit, and he was blown away. Like he was like, I saw like there's a video of it, and you see him like, I'm like, oh fuck off, for like some of the things I'm saying, like some of the shit, my bars and stuff. He's actually loving my music and shit.
Wow, dude.
And I was like, yeah, that gave me the biggest confidence ever. And then he goes to me, he's like, oh, you know what? Fuck it. You can come on the cypher at the end of the night. Like on my set, I'm gonna do a cypher, like in your jump the night. And I'm like, what? Like what? And he's like, straight up.
Sorry to interrupt. With the cypher, is it similar to the to breaking? So like you're in a circle and a guy jumps in, does his creativity and then jumps back.
Yeah.
Is that the same with rapping?
100%. So
yeah, cool.
It'll be a bunch of dudes standing up on stage. Like there'll be a line at the back. Whoever's rapping will go forward.
Yep.
Go back, give someone else a mic. Bang. And it just
everyone
keeps giving each other the mic and shit.
Yep.
He's like, yeah, you can hop on stage with me, Fracture, Alex Jones, and all these. And I'm thinking like these are people I've looked up to. Like Alex Jones is like one of my inspirations. Like, and another artist I've listened to and related to in so many different levels that it's like I'm obsessed with fucking all of his music and shit. I can play his music on repeat every day for the rest of my life and not get tired of it. You know what I mean? And like I was on stage with them, like all that sort of shit. You know what I mean? And like I'm on stage with them, and he like when Wombat introduced me to stage, he's like, everyone make some noise for Scumro, and everyone is screaming, like everyone's like, oh, holy fucking shit, dude. I'm seeing a bunch of faces when I'm on stage, and they're all like, what the fuck? Like, how the fuck are you up there, cunt? Because there was a bunch of people that knew who I was at the show. Yeah. But no one was expecting me to hop on stage with Wombat that night.
They knew you were just amateur, up and coming.
Yeah, no one was like, everyone's like, what the fuck? Why is Wombat introducing this cunt on stage? What's going on here? What the fuck? And everyone was spun out by it.
Yeah.
And I rapped, and everyone was just going crazy and shit. I jumped off stage afterwards. Everyone was like, what the fucking like, it was crazy, man. Wombat comes up to me, he's like, "No, we're brothers now, bro. Like, fucking killed that shit." And I just said to him straight up, like, "Bro, that's a life changing experience." Like, it lit like that. I never took myself seriously with music before that.
Right.
Like, if I'm going to be straight up, I never thought I had possibility. I never thought I had any like, I never thought there was any universe or anything where I'd actually be up there. You know what I mean? With
Yeah. So you just make music for fun,
yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
and because that's what you just love to do, and it was how you expressed yourself.
yeah, 100%, man. And like,
So you had no plans from the beginning.
no
to,
plans to
Wow.
be this. I never wanted to be a rapper. You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
about being that guy with the cool watch or the nice car or the the stuff to flex or anything like that. I literally use music as my escape because there's no matter what is going on, I can put headphones on and it takes me away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With music, when it comes to lyrics or even just beats, you know what I mean? I can play a beat and I can put some shit down. There's hundreds of tracks that I've written probably, and no one will ever see the light of day because it's probably my deepest, darkest emotions because I'm letting it all out. You know what I mean? And then I look at it and I'm thinking, I reflect on my own music. I'll write some fucked up shit. You know what I mean? I've written diss tracks. I've written, diss tracks on people I used to call my best mate and shit like that. And I've written so much shit that I reflect on, and I go, you know what, that's wrong. You know what I mean? I'm being a cunt. Like, you know what I mean? All that sort of shit. I reflect on
Yeah.
my music. You know what I mean? Or I go,
Man, that's therapy,
I'm
bro.
I'm
That's-
overthinking that because
Yeah.
I write it down. Therapy. One of the biggest means of therapy is writing. Whether it's a book or just writing your feelings or writing anything, you just let it. You write and you let it come out because it's your subconscious doing it. You know what I mean? It's not you. It's what your mind is doing. And writing music helps me find out so much about myself. Like, I find out because I'll write music, I'll rap it back to myself, and I'll go, holy fuck. And I'm explaining. It's like I'm explaining something to myself. You know what I mean? Like I'm explaining how I act. Like I'm writing down how I'm feeling, what I want to do to someone, and then I look at it later and I go, that's not right. You know what I mean? I can look at it and go, that's not right. I need to work on it.
Right. You think that's not really you?
Yeah,
That's
it's not me.
That's just your emotions.
Yeah, I'm not an angry person. But with my album I'm working on now, I'm letting a lot of emotions out. I'm letting a lot of anger out and stuff because I feel like I need to do it, sort of thing. But after this album that I'm working on, I'm going to try and just do what I love and stuff. But with when it comes to letting your emotions out and everything, it's always something you've got to reflect on because when you're in an argument with someone, you're always going to look back on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's the same as whenever you're in
anyone conscious, anyways.
yeah, you know what I mean. Whenever you're in a moment that's bad or whatever, you're going to look back on it. You're going to think on it. You know what I mean? So if you write it down, you can literally piece it together like that. You know what I mean? You can look at it, you can see it. You don't think of it. You're not twisting it up in your head. You can see it.
You're seeing it from an objective perspective.
Yeah, you're seeing the worst part of yourself on a page, right?
Yeah.
There, you know what I mean? And like your biggest demons, all that sort of shit. And then you think, do you really want people to see that? Like, you know what I mean? Do you really want to be known as that guy? You know what I mean? Or do you want to be that nice guy? You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be known as the dude that's angry all the time. I don't want to be known as the dude that always wants to, cause harm or anything like that. But because that's not who I am. But when I'm under pressure or when I'm in a bad situation where I'm not myself, I do act out and I do say a lot of things like I want to fucking hurt this person, I want to fucking fuck this, I fucking hate the world, I want to do this, I want to do that, fuck this, fuck him, fuck her, fuck everyone. When
It's not you.
yeah, it's not me. You know what I mean? Like I want to be known as that dude that everyone can talk to if they need to. You know what I mean? That everyone can come to hang out and have a laugh. You know what I mean? That's what I want to be known for. But there's, life's life. You know what I mean? And when if I'm going through shit, I'm gonna write it down. I want to let it out somehow. You know what I mean? You just got to do it. Everyone needs to find their own release like that. I reckon because there's so much stuff that I could have done. If it wasn't for me, if it wasn't for music, I would have acted out in anger in different ways. You know what I mean? Like I could have gone and fucking hurt someone. I could have gone and done something that could have got me locked up or something like that. You know what I mean? I could have done something real fucking dumb that would have changed my whole life in a really bad way. When instead of doing that, I wrote it down. I wrote it down, put it into a positive, and I wrapped it back to myself. And I can be happy with a negative. You know what I mean? Like I'm putting negative into positive energy just by putting it into a rhyme scheme. You know what I mean? Like, even if it's the saddest, saddest shit, you put it into a rhyme scheme and you make it rhyme and sound cool. It's like, oh, you can't really not be happy with it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you've released the energy.
yeah, whenever you put something together like that sounds, you can't be angry and stuck in that mode. Like, oh fuck that song, next, who cares? If you write something, even if it's your worst emotion and it sounds good, you're gonna go, fuck, that sounds good, and it's gonna snap you out of it straight away. You know what I mean? And then you're gonna look at it and go, oh, do I really feel this way against that person? You know what I mean? Do I, all that sort of shit? And it's and yeah.
Whenever you suppress whenever you suppress anything, so I have like a ball of energy. Whenever I'm suppressing it, it's contracted, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same amount of energy, it's just in a smaller pocket.
Yeah.
When you just keep, because we're human beings, so we're constantly going through something. We got emotional battles of our own, of God knows what our personality really is, but there's certainly a lot more to it. We have this like dark side to us, and we can be angry. Everyone can be angry and sad, and everyone's got a shadow, as it were. Right. But there's also the ideal, which you don't want to be thought of as an angry person. Well, you still have that anger about you because everyone has that archetype inside them. But that doesn't mean that's your ideal. 100%. And it seems like your ideal is to be, your ideal is that, laid back, cool dude everyone can talk to, everyone's sweet with. You get along with everyone. And whenever you suppress the energy, right? Those emotions, they're basically stronger.
Yeah.
Because you're piling up more and more, and you can only suppress something to its like that, but as soon as you put more energy in it, it's going to keep rising up. So when you have you start off with anger and then you suppress it because the world tells you can't be angry, and then you just keep doing that, and you don't have any ways of releasing because who teaches you how to release? Also, everyone releases something differently.
Exactly.
So and when you release it out. When you don't release it, you act out.
Yeah.
And that's why everyone needs to transmutate their energy into something.
Spot on.
Something.
Fucking yeah. Spot on, man. And I'm that type of guy. I bottle everything up.
Yeah.
I bottle everything up. I suppress everything. When I'm angry, I don't want to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, someone will say, "What's wrong?" You won't understand. I don't want to talk. You know what I mean? That's how I act, sort of.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's not anything against people or anything like that. It's just like, I'm just a very suppressive person because I used to express everything a lot and it was shut down, sort of thing. It wasn't shut down, but it wasn't listened to, sort of thing. Like, and that's no one's fault. Everyone's got their own life. I'm in control of my own life and all that sort of stuff. And you can't rely on anyone but yourself to look after you. You know what I mean? And I didn't know that when I was younger, but when I was a lot younger, I used to be really expressionate in how I felt all the time through just like social media. I had private accounts and I just be really expressionate with how I felt all the time and shit like that. And I realized it's really confronting to people sometimes. Like it really expressing your deepest and worst thoughts can be really confronting to people because a lot of people don't express those, don't even have those types of thoughts, don't even have those types of feelings. You know what I mean?
Nor know how to deal with it when someone is expressing that.
Yeah, or they know how to deal with it. Yeah, and they don't know how to deal with it if they're going through it. You know what I mean? So it's like, and I'm the same. I don't know how to deal with it. I do now, but I used to not know how to deal with. But I used to not know how to deal with anything when it came to like expressing emotions. I used to act out in so many different ways through self-harm, through negative, just being negative towards people. You know what I mean? Being just like a hater. You know what I mean? Like I used to just hate on shit because I hated on myself. You know what I mean? Yeah. And all that sort of shit. And
why'd you hate yourself so much?
Because I used to cop a lot of shit about my looks. I used to hate how I grew up. I used to, just not by how I grew up on, how my mum raised me or anything like that. Because I grew up in a, as you know, a single mother household. Nothing to do with my mum. My mum raised me perfect. You know what I mean? I love my mum so much.
Your mum's a good person.
She's a great
I love
person.
talking to her.
Yeah, she's the best person in the world, man. I'm lucky. But, like on the family side of things, like where I don't have contact with my dad sort of thing. And it's my fault as well as like, it's both of our faults sort of thing. Like, I'm not trying to hold blame or anything like that, but like not having that family around, I never had that confidence given to me, you know what I mean? That a kid should, oh, you can do that. You can do this. Because my mum was always going through so much, when I was growing up and all that sort of stuff. We had a lot of stuff going on when I was growing up. And my mum couldn't give me that attention that she needed to give me, you know what I mean? Because she had 2 other kids that needed the attention as well. And she had her own life she needed to attend to. She had work, she had so much shit going on. So I didn't get the attention that I needed. It's not anyone's fault. It's just how it is for a lot of kids growing up in those situations. And I was a very unsocial kid. I liked to just stay inside, play games and all that sort of shit. And I never really went outside until my late primary school years. Like I'd be in grade 5.
Late primary school?
Yeah, grade 4, grade 5, I started hanging out with people. And
Shit, so when you were, like 8, you were just isolated?
Yeah, man. I was just isolated completely. I never went outside. I never did nothing, man. Like I'd be sitting at home playing COD for like fucking years, bro. Like I was shit me not. And I started hanging out. Like my first mate, Jaden, like fresh junior. He was my first proper like best mate. I could call my proper best mate and shit. And he like helped me get outside and all that sort of shit, like hang out with people. Just all that sort of shit, getting into the skate park culture and all that sort of shit. And it was all through primary school and shit, hanging out with Jaden. And I was just a very like short, curly-headed, afro, fat kid. Like that.
I remember the curly hair.
Yeah, like a little
afro
afro
hair.
Yeah, bro. I was just a little fucking fat kid and shit. And I used to cop so much like fucking bullshit because I used to ride around on the shittest scooter, man. Like at the skate park days. Like all the popular kids hung out at the skate park. You know what I mean? And I used to ride around on this fucking big green wheel fucking Audi scooter, like the handlebars are together and shit. And it was like I'd bag the fuck out of me. Like, I was like, if we're gonna look back at it, and I was in that age group and I wasn't me, I'd bag the fuck out of me because I was an easy target, man. I used to dress like a dickhead, and I was wearing Velcros in year 7. Yeah, like, like you know what I mean. And when Dion,
fucking hell,
yeah, bro, it's that bad.
I haven't seen Velcros for fucking ages, man.
It's that bad, bro. And my mate Dion, one of my other best mates, I went to his once, and he had like a bunch of Stussy shirts and shit. And I was like, oh, these are fresh.
Treasure.
I'm like, oh, sick. And he's like, yeah, do you want them, bro? And I'm like, yeah, cunt. And he just gave me these Stussy shirts and shit.
Oh, and wow. That's lovely.
Oh, man, it was like 2 Stussy shirts. And I wore those 2 shirts for like 2 years, probably like a whole year straight. Like those 2 shirts. And I ended up just getting like nothing but Stussy because like that's what Dion gave me. Oh, Stussy must be the brand everyone wears. So, because I never knew nothing about clothes. I just like wore what other cunts wore and shit. And I'm like, oh yeah, fuck it. I'll just start wearing this shit. And I just started buying everything Stussy. And I looked like a fucking goose because I walked around in like a tie-dye Stussy top with like brown chinos and like red Air Maxes. And I looked like oh man, I had an afro too. Like, easy target. Riding around on a real stupid scooter, falling over everywhere, just uncoordinated as fuck. And I used to be real self-conscious about my body because, like, I used to go to the pools and shit. Everyone used to go to the pools in my age group all the time. Like, I used to go to the pools and fucking, I was always like, every time I took my top off, like, I used to have like all these pimples on my chest and shit, like, real bad. Like, I used to have real bad pimples on my back and chest and shit. And like, I remember one time a dude fucking was like, yuck, and like pointed at my chest and shit. And like all that sort of shit. And I was already overweight and self-conscious about my weight and stuff because I used to weigh 120 kilos when I was 15. Are
you serious?
16. Yeah, I used to weigh 120 kilos.
When you were 15?
When 15 or 16. Yeah, 120
you didn't
kilos.
Seem that, I mean...
Yeah, man, I was massive at a point. Oh,
Yeah, I don't
fucking-
like. I was more close with your brother, but
yeah,
like
man. When I was
I didn't know you were 100.
yeah, and
120.
I didn't look that big. It was just like gut and shit. Like I wore real big clothes and shit, so it was hard to notice, like
Yeah,
sort
yeah.
of thing, because I wore like triple XL, double XL, because I
Oh,
was
fuck.
yeah, I was really trying to cover that shit up. Like I didn't want anyone to see my man tits, you know what I mean? And
That was a secret.
yeah, bro, for real. And like I was already so self conscious of my weight, and then people's like I got picked on for my pimples and shit. I was like, fuck that. So I got and it was just so bad. My whole teenage years, like I had real bad acne and shit. So self conscious of it, couldn't handle it. And every time I got bagged for it, it was just like more fuel for me to hate myself and shit. Because like it was like everyone hates themselves in a small way, like when they're growing up. You know what I mean? No one likes their looks.
You go through the
Everyone
phases,
goes through those phases and shit. And having someone else say it to you is like the confirmation. All right, you're an ugly cunt. Like, all right, face it now. And then it took, like, I don't know what it was. It was the way I started dressing that changed that. The way I started dressing changed my self confidence, because once I got into hip hop and I got into Oz rap and I got into that culture and shit, I started dressing like that. You know what I mean? I started dressing with baggy pants, the fucking big shorts, cool Air Maxes and shit like that. You know what I mean? And just looking fresh, and started just rocking what I saw in music videos. You know what I mean? Not like to a T, but like I'd just be fucking cool. These cunts wearing baggy pants. I'll wear baggy pants.
Yep. Those are the models. That's what
Yeah,
you try to
you
look
know what
like.
I mean? And then I started dressing in nice clothes, and then my self confidence started changing. I was just like, oh, true. Like even if I'm ugly, I'm fresh. Because like, like you know what I mean? Like I started once, and now like
That's a dope line.
yeah, bro. Like even like when I got to like year 10, year 11, I started like thinking, oh yeah. You know what? I'm cool. I'm fly. And it was just because of clothes, man. I started rocking fresh shit, and it was just like because I'd be saving up my lunch money and all that sort of shit, and making money and stuff in high school. I had the money to just blow on clothes and shit. So I was fucking started rocking Ralph Lauren and all that sort of shit, and just fucking Tommy and just fucking all sorts of shit. And I fucking loved it, man. Just started rocking nice clothes, and then I just started realizing, yeah, cool. And that's probably what got me rapping. You know what I mean? Getting that self confidence to know that I look good. And it's like, oh, yeah, I look good. I can put myself out there. Someone can fucking do something. Yeah, but
I suppose you
self-confidence-
also had like this like more faith in yourself and the fact that you are,
I'm part of a culture.
yeah, and you're not just like this fat ugly kid. Like you're more than that. You have your hobbies. You have talents.
Spot on, man. But the thing is, before when I started, I didn't even know I had talents. The only people that were telling me I had talent was my teachers and shit at school, and like my mum. You know what I mean? Like,
What classes?
My English teacher, Mr. Hogg, in year 9. He was a teacher that noticed that I was he told so one time we had to do it was a project on like we had to make a Facebook page for a rapper. You know what I mean? It's like, or like make a Facebook page or something for an artist or or a famous person or something like that. But yeah, make a Facebook page for a famous person. I did two-part. And I did that. No, I did it so well. Like I did it perfectly, and it was like I did it over the top. Like I went overboard and did heaps to it. Like I wrote like a whole timeline of a bunch of different posts and all this sort of shit. And they were funny. They were like all this sort of shit. And he was like, "Fuck, you're actually." Like, he said something to him. And it just made me think like, "Oh yeah, this teacher believes in you." Like you know what I mean? Like some teachers can just say something to you instantly. It's like I like this teacher a lot. And there's another teacher, Mr. Cody. He was my drama teacher when I was in year 9.
You did drama?
Yeah. It was just like a class
Elective.
You had to do it.
How long?
Sure.
Oh, you had to do it.
Yeah, I think you had to do drama. I'm pretty sure.
Ah.
But oh no, I didn't. Actually, no. I think I chose drama. Yeah, I chose drama.
Nice.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, I chose drama. Yeah, definitely.
How long did you do that for?
It was the whole year.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, a whole year.
Wow.
And I fucking had a teacher, Mr. Cody, because I love movies.
Yeah.
Movies are like another form of escape. Growing up, there was always a hard drive with like 200 movies on it, and I'd be able to just play movies and shit. I'd take days off school, watch movies and shit all the time, and I was watching all sorts of movies. Not just like kid movies and shit. I'd actually be watching like when I was young, like in primary school, I'd be watching like soccer, watching thrillers. I was watching like fucking all that sort of shit when I was in primary school. Like, Silence of the Lambs, Red Dragon, all that sort of shit. I remember watching Silence of the Lambs when I was real young, going to school and talking about it. Everyone's like, "What are you talking about?" Like, yeah,
But like, my mum would never let me watch that.
yeah, no, they didn't even know what I'm talking about. Like, what are you? And I'm acting like you don't know what that is. And I was watching like Quentin Tarantino movies and shit when I was real young. I remember watching Reservoir Dogs when I was in like year 7 or something, and then it got me onto watching like all the Quentin Tarantino movies, yeah, all that sort of shit. But, yeah, so I always said when I was younger, I wanted to be like an actor, like a comedian.
Just go a little bit closer to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
mic.
sweet. When I was younger, I always said like I wanted to be an actor or a comedian, something like that. Always said it. All my mates have remembered me saying that. Always wanted to be a stand-up comedian or an actor or some shit like that. And drama was just like, oh yeah, cool, I'll do that. And
That's so interesting, man, because it's funny because how old are you again?
20.
So I'm 5 years older. And when I went to high school, I was really keen for drama. Like
Yeah.
that was, because I've always been a dancer and I
Yeah.
always liked acting and I
loved
loved like playing the story. You know, I love stories.
Yes. So,
And you know, when drama was an option, and I was like, oh, like this is gonna be sick. And
yeah.
but I wasn't really expressive about it with my friends. And, you
Neither.
know,
Neither.
Yeah.
But no, see, when I was younger,
Yeah.
I remember in like grade 6, I'd be going, I want to be because I used to be able to do voices. Because Dylan, my brother,
Yes,
He
he
used-
was good at doing
he used
voices.
to love doing
yeah.
voices. And when I was younger, and when he left, I was like, I need to be him. So when he comes back, he's gonna love it. And then I started practicing all these voices and shit because I wanted to be like him so much. And I started practicing all the like Peter Griffin voices and all that sort of shit. Doing all
Fuck,
that
I
sort of
remember him
stuff.
doing that all the time.
Yeah, bro, I used to love it.
It was a good laugh. It was a good laugh.
bro. All my mates loved me for it.
Yeah.
And because I used to do all that sort of shit for my mates. Oh, mate, I'll do the Peter Griffin voice and all that sort of shit. Everyone used to piss themselves. And yeah, it was just like another thing I always loved, like voice acting and all that sort of shit. It's funny as fuck. Like, because it's just like, yeah, just another thing I've always wanted to venture in. Like, I reckon down the track, 20 years down the line, who knows? Fuck it. Might be a stand-up comedian. Might write a book. Who knows? Like, you know what I
man.
mean?
It's all a journey, man.
Yeah. So when I saw drama, I'm like, I'm doing it straight away. And I had a teacher, and I had another teacher for that class, but she ended up leaving that class. Oh no, it was 2 years. I had drama for 2 years. So I chose a year 8 and year 9. So I had Miss Harritonitis for year 8, or was it year 9? I can't remember, year 10 or whatever. But
Were you the only guy in the class?
no, there was a couple of dudes, but I was the only. I didn't have any mates in there. Like I was, like, you know, there's a couple other dudes, and I was interacting with all sorts of people in there.
That's
like,
so
with my
funny,
mates and
man.
stuff. But I didn't have any mates in there.
See, I bitched out on the second or third week because there was no other guys in there.
Yeah.
And you know, part of like my experience growing up was that if you do acting or if you do dancing, then you're a homosexual, you're a faggot, or you're a little girl.
Yeah.
And my experience going into, I was so excited for drama. I was excited for like the big school, you know, play.
Yeah.
And I was gonna like do that. Like I was thinking in primary school, high school was gonna be the best.
Yeah.
I can be myself. I can do all these different things I wasn't really able to do in primary school. And so I did like 2 weeks of drama. When I first like started the drama class, I looked around and it was just like no other guys. I was like, oh, okay.
Fuck.
And then like all like the girls were asking me, oh, like I didn't know you wanted to do drama. That's so cool. And I was like, oh yeah, you know, like it was. And then I remember being like stupid and being like, oh well, yeah, it was an accident actually. Like I just. No, sorry, I didn't say that to the girls. I said that to my friends. You know, they were like, "Oh, where were you? Like, were you at PE?" And I was like, "Oh, no, I got dropped into drama."
What the fuck?
Like, what happened there? And I was like, "Oh, you know, yeah, I'm gonna like sort that out." You know?
Yeah.
And within like a few weeks, I just couldn't do it. Like, it was so much like, not that my friends were like that bad. It was just like the little comments that I wasn't strong enough to take.
Yeah, and that's exactly the same with mine, man. Like my mates would never actually go out of their way to hate on me in any way. But when I was younger, I could not take banter.
Yeah,
I could not.
It's heavy, man.
I never understood it. You know what I mean? I never had it at home. It was always from my mum and my brother. It was always constant. It was either arguing or love. You know what I mean? And that's what it was. It was never like we weren't really joking around.
There was no grey area.
Not really any grey area. You know what I mean? It was always where like completely there for each other and watching movies and you know like we'd have a laugh and stuff like that.
So you're a small family, but you're tight.
Yeah, but we never banter. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, it wasn't like that. they're like, oh, you're a fuckhead. I wasn't
Mm.
joking like that or anything like that. You know what I mean? So I never understood banter, and I never growing up with Dylan. He was always really soft. Dylan's always had nothing but love for me. He's been the best older brother of all time.
Yeah.
So Dylan was never and I was a really soft kid. I couldn't handle banter. So Dylan never gave it to me. You know what I mean? Dylan was always like, oh, hey, Corey, how you going, man? Like all that sort of stuff. Oh, I got this for you, bro. Like all that sort of shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He'd be coming home trying to make me happy all the time. You know, it was never, and we'd argue,
Yeah.
but we'd argue all the time. Like, it was bad, but we'd always.
Your brothers.
Yeah, we're brothers. That's what it was. But never really banter. So I'd go to school and like my mates, they're joking around with me and they're saying shit, like bagging me, and I'm taking it to heart. I'm like, fuck, I hate this shit, like fuck that. And yeah, I couldn't handle that shit either. Yeah, I couldn't handle it.
Yeah, it's heavy on a small guy. I think, so I've done a lot of personal work. I've done, counseling and a lot of healing over like the course of maybe since I was like 17, I would say. That's when I really started looking at myself and thinking that, I can change. I can be my ideal person. And because I got like trapped into like a way of being, man. Yeah.
All about believing in it.
Yeah. And so what was I going? So yeah, I did a lot of like counseling and really like went through my life with a fine tooth comb and like had these experiences and really just strengthened my character to know that I think this is when you especially like leave Hillsville, and you meet people from different countries as well.
Yeah,
and
100%.
The difference in how they act, it gives you a really big perspective on how you can be and how friends are meant to be as well. And like,
for sure.
And also like, everything's not meant to be taken so seriously or too hard, but some people don't have a filter and they will say something disrespectful. Like if they said that disrespectful thing to you, you take it to heart and it's like a really big deal.
But they don't say it as that.
Well, they don't see it as that. But if they were to say that to someone from another country, they'd get the head smacked in because that'd be really offensive.
100%.
But when you don't have like the filter or the culture to really have any sort of order behind what is okay and what's not, what is disrespectful and what is not.
And that's another bad thing about it. And Aussie culture is so based on banter and disrespect. You know what I mean?
The country, when the Europeans came, it was all convicts.
Yeah, when it comes to white Australian culture, it's, bullshit. Going to the pub, talking shit and banter and all that sort of shit. That's what our culture is basically based on.
Yeah,
you know
dude.
What I mean? There's not much culture there. You know what I mean?
Man, fucking hell. I've always said that. Like, there's no culture.
That's the only.
There is a culture, but it doesn't feel like there's a culture.
I love Australia and I love like Aboriginal culture and shit. I've grown up with Aboriginal people my whole life and stuff like that. And it's made me, like, I've seen it from like Aboriginal people's perspective on like,
that's a whole different thing for them.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And like it makes me, I look at Australia as like a beautiful fucking place, you know what I mean? We need to look after it and all that sort of shit and everything. And like, it's just like, we need to be how, Aboriginal people were like 200 years ago and shit like that, you know what I mean? When it comes to like, fucking just respect and treating each other right and living in harmony, you know what I mean? And all that sort of stuff. You go to, Brad was telling me he went to Thailand. Right.
Yep.
Basically like a third world place. I'd say it's nearly there. Right?
Yeah. On the cusp at least.
On the cusp. Everyone there is happy. You know what I mean? Everyone there is happy. They're living in harmony. You know what I mean? They've got nothing and they're fucking happy.
Yeah.
You know why? Because they actually treat each other with respect. You know what I mean? They all actually love each other as people. You know what I mean? They're constantly fucking hating on each other all the time. You know what I mean?
You don't say something disrespectful to someone.
Yeah,
unless you wanted to hurt them.
Yeah,
it wasn't like not a joke or anything like that.
I mean? It's a culture based off complete, happiness and all that means, and everyone's respecting each other and all that sort of shit. And like, we've got a culture that's based off drinking alcohol, right, and talking shit, and legit just seeing.
Well said.
You know what I mean? That's legit what our culture is, and it sucks. Like, I wish I could say I had something to like look at
I suppose there's football.
You know what I mean? Like I've got like an Irish side and
Yeah.
a Maori side as well, but I don't really know much about either of them sides because
that's your blood, but you weren't born there.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I don't know anything about that, but like what I know is I just call myself as like Australian. I don't really know if I'm like what my old percentages is. I don't know my family tree too well.
Well, you can say you definitely you've been born in Australia, but your blood would say differently.
Yeah, definitely.
Judging by just how you look, I mean, clearly you're like European.
Yeah, 100%.
You white motherfucker.
Yeah, 100%. You're right, bro. But like, even if like I can't even say like if I were, I just wish I had something to look at. You know what I mean? I wish I could go on the internet and search up cool shit. About my culture. You know what I mean? Like as like an Australian. You know what I mean?
Some sort of like ancient history.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
That.
I wish I had some cool shit to look at that wasn't fucked. You know what I mean? Like everything from my side of culture is fucked. And I hate that shit because I love all the fucking I love the roots of shit, you know, like where we actually come from. Like back in time, you know what I mean? All that sort of shit. And like all it is from Europeans and shit is just fuck shit. Take over and conquer it. That's
take over, conquer, divide, and send in convicts and lower class, at least for the beginning, and make them slaves to this land as well.
Exactly.
You know, it wasn't just the blacks that were copping it. It was anyone who did wrong in Europe just sent them straight to here. This was like what's that like island that people send to when they or an abandonment island, or is it? You know, when someone says to you, well, not someone like in movies, we have like refuge island or whatever, and like they send them there to basically go to hell is what I'm trying to get at. So you send all your convicts and
it's
stuff,
like prisoner of war camp sort of shit. That sort of shit.
It wasn't just the blacks, it was anyone who did wrong in Europe or Spain, even the Americas and Africa. Like they just sent them here.
And that's what I fucking hate. Like I wish like I had some cool shit to look at. You know what I mean? Like because I find ancestry, all that sort of shit so interesting. Like it's some of the coolest shit I like want to look at. You know what I mean? But I don't really have contact with my dad, so I can't find out like my Irish ancestry and all that sort of stuff.
Yes.
My mum only found out 10 years ago that her real dad isn't, you know, who she thought her dad was her whole life. So she only found out when she was 40 that her real dad wasn't her real dad, sort of thing. And my real dad, my real granddad was a Maori bloke.
Yeah.
So it's like, holy shit.
Like full Maori or half?
Don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't even know because he passed away. So mum didn't even know.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't even get to get any like info or anything like that of like heritage, anything, nothing.
Yeah.
Didn't really
ancestral line has been broken.
Yeah, mum hasn't really been able to find much out about him, sort of.
Yep.
Like anything really. So it's like we just know that he was like he was Maori, all that sort of shit. He was a good bloke, apparently.
Right.
Apparently he was as well, but yeah, a lot of old school people were back then. But
sure.
Yeah, but like I just hate that. Yeah, there's not much access to cool information, all that sort of shit.
There's just not really all that much cool information. It's very simple, isn't it?
Yeah, there's not really much cool information about like the European side of like my culture and shit, and the culture that I'm in Australia. You know what I mean? Sort of shit. I wish I could just have something cool to look at. I hate that it's just all fuck shit.
Yeah, I mean, like even
like,
saying
I want this generation to break the cycle of just fucked. You know what I mean? Like I want this generation. I feel like social media has fucked a lot of it up, but I feel like it can also help a lot with how people act. And
like new beginning for our country and our culture.
I feel like racism has changed a lot over the past 10 years. You know, like say if we're looking at TV in 2005, you know what I mean? Different place to what it is now, you know what I mean? Nothing's accepted to what it was before, but it's also changed a lot of things like comedy, stand-up comedy. You know what I mean? It's changed a lot of shit like that. Cancel culture's come on. People can't say shit. People can't, people can't say and do shit. And people started taking things too far, taking cancel culture and taking things to heart too much. You know what I mean? It ruined like a lot of stuff, but it also did a lot of good for things. And like people that were copping actual fuck racism and all that sort of shit. Like it did get rid of that sort of stuff. But, and like even against like homosexuals and stuff, like all that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm,
Same situation. It's good that
A lot has changed in
you know,
100 years, hasn't it?
even in 20 years, man,
Mm.
people that my mum grew up with that were gay back in
Yeah.
her day used to have to hide it. You know what I mean? They used to have to completely hide it.
Yeah.
And if,
Otherwise, they'd get bashed.
They'd
This
get
is more than
bashed.
just an aspect of like, oh yeah, they're gonna bag you out. No, like you'd actually get bashed.
one of my mates, pretty sure it was his uncle or something, he used to be a cop, or his cop, or some shit. He used to be a cop in Geelong.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they used to go out to clubs, go into toilets of clubs, and they used to have a tally at the police station and shit, and see who could flog the most gay people.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Dude, the corruption.
yeah, how bad, man. And the fucking
That's insane.
yeah, you know, people used to get bashed for that shit just for being gay and stuff. And I'm fucking so happy that people can be in their own skin and all that sort of stuff now. You know what I mean? I'll never fucking. That's the thing I hate most. You know, like fucking people hate on people being in their own skin. You know what I mean?
Just
if you're
for
gonna
being
be,
in their own skin. Well
if you're going to
said.
be in an argument with someone, you know what I mean, and you know this person or whatever, and you know that their lifestyle or their something they can't help or something, if you bag that, it's going to get to them, and that's just a low move. I hate people like that. It's not racism or that in general. It's or like hating on a gay person. It's just that in general. You know, like hating on someone's look, on you know, like or something like that. You know what I mean? If someone's done something to you, go off. You know what I mean? But I hate judgments. You know what I mean? I hate just like fucking
Getting angry at a book for its cover.
yeah, you know what I mean? Or if someone of a specific race pisses you off, so you hate the whole race. You know what I mean? There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that. Or like someone of a specific lifestyle. Like if say if a gay person hit on you, it's like, no, I hate all gay people. Like there's a lot of people like that. You know what I mean?
These people don't strike me as intelligent though. Like, and I honestly like them because I've talked to a lot of people.
So, I will say one thing though. I love using like say the word like the word faggot.
Yeah.
I use that as an insult to straight people.
Yeah.
Because like it's hard to explain. Like I say the word faggot in my music a lot. If I'm like dissing someone or something, I'll say like, "Oh, you're a faggot" or something like that. And it's not a diss to gay people because I've grown up around gay people my whole life. Gay people are sick. They're just like normal people. You know what I mean?
There's nothing special about it. I mean, it's just
nothing different. It's just a sexuality thing. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
But the biggest insult to a straight dude is you're gay, because then it makes you think, what am I doing to make this dude think I'm gay? Because every straight dude is trying not to be gay. You know what I mean? Like it's just like a funny insult sort of thing. So that's like another thing.
It was a big insult.
I always question.
Anyways,
I always question that as well when like I write my music because I mixed it. No, I went and recorded it at a Deno's house once, and I said the word faggot. And I was young when I did this, and he was like, "I'm not mixing this song unless you take out the word faggot."
Whoa!
And I'm like, "Fuck!" Like, and I ended up. I think I took it out and shit. And but yeah, it made me think like, "Fuck." As if he took it like that, and it was weird because I thought about it because I never saw it as like I didn't really understood it. I never really understood why he wanted to take it out. Why would he do that? And then I kind of realized, it might be offensive. But then I stood on my toes and I'm like, you know what? No, fuck it. I'm not using it as like I've grown up around gay people my whole life. You know what I mean? And I've got people that you know I'll see down the street that I went to school with and all that sort of stuff that I've known my whole life, and I'll still be like, "What's up, man? How are you?" Like they're a normal fucking person. Like they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But because I don't have that sort of judgment, but I reckon calling a straight person gay is funny.
Yeah.
It is funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Like straight up.
I actually love that. You know, but here's the thing as well. You know, words can have a meaning, but the actual, you know, so you have this, you know, we have this like really massive vocabulary now as compared to when we were as, you know, pre-modern humans, or like I should say pre-ancient humans, really. Like when we were just sort of like beginning to start language.
Like it's actually fucked to think about how far we've come when it comes to language.
It's cool.
Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like how we came from legit not understanding.
Yeah, we just had body language.
Yeah, now we're talking right now. You know what I mean? Like understanding what we're saying. Like thinking about that shit. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, it's actually cool. But yeah, so words, you know, they start off and they just, you know, you have this word faggots, you know, but it's just a sound with my mouth. If you really like think about it, faggot, it's just a random sound.
It is.
It's the meaning that you give to that sound is what matters.
100%.
And so, yes, a word can start off with faggot being a pile of sticks, or a bunch of twigs. I don't know, but you know, in the book Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
he uses the word faggot to grab a pile of sticks.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
So because it was made, I don't know when it was made, but made a while ago.
Yeah,
Really
yeah.
fucking interesting book.
Yeah.
I haven't
yeah.
read it. I want to,
Yeah.
but my girlfriend has read two of the books.
Yeah.
She says they're really interesting. Like,
Yeah.
because he uses English differently as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like words and language will change with culture. You know what I mean? And so with the word faggot, you've had it mean a pile of sticks
Back in the day.
Yeah.
And then it's changed to
faggot to be you're homosexual, you're a weak person, you're a different person,
Yeah.
you're not a part of the tribe now because you are a faggot.
Yeah.
And now it's changed to, well, my interpretation of faggot, it was always like, that's you're a faggot. You're like you like men,
Yeah.
but it had a different meaning when I said it to someone. It was more or less like, you know,
like you.
I said it very casually to my friends, like, "Oh, shut up, faggot."
Yeah,
Like,
you know what I mean.
you know?
Like it wasn't like that is.
and it didn't mean that they were gay to
Spot
me.
on.
It just meant that I wanted to, I don't know. It actually, you know what I relate it to? It's like giving someone like, you know, a little punch to the arm.
Yeah,
like,
oh, what's going on, man? Bang.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that.
But I said it with
Exactly.
my words, and I used the word faggot because that was the culture.
It's banter. You know
Banter,
what I mean? It's banter and shit like
Yeah.
that. And exactly, and that's the thing that I've like. So being able to say this right now in future, if ever like people question my music and go, "Well, what does this dude hate homosexuals?" Fuck no, it's not about that. It's like legit just humor. It's banter. You know what I mean? And if you don't understand, and another thing with music as well, if you don't like something, turn it off.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
That's what I don't like about social media, man. Everyone
Yeah.
feels like they want to just say their
Everyone's got to
opinion.
leave a review.
Yeah, it's like, you don't really have to. You can just
Yeah.
not like the music, and you don't have to like judge that person. You don't have to give that person energy.
Yeah, you know
negative
what I mean?
or positive. You can just listen to the music or not.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not you.
I learned that because I used to hate on heaps of shit, like that Lil Uzi Vert type of music and all that sort of shit. Like I used to hate on that sort of stuff. But then I look at the fan base that it's got, and I look at the comment sections, how many people fucking love that music, and it's like, fuck. Obviously, people think this music's good. A lot of people think this music's good. So it's me that has a problem. It's not the music, it's me. Do you know what I mean? I think that, and I go, all right, I'm not going to judge it. And that's something that I've had to learn to do because I used to be so judgmental when it came to shit. Not shit music, but music I didn't like, I'd call it shit.
You know where I think that would come from, that judgment? It's because you judge yourself that much.
Yeah.
Usually when you judge someone for really anything, or you're judging people or a group of people, it's all because you're judging yourself with the exact same harshness.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Spot on.
So,
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was fucking bad with it. I used to just be so judgmental with it. Even like, I'll see music I think I don't like today, and I'll still go like, ugh, fuck so. And I don't like it sort of thing. But I'm not the type to make it public. You know what I mean? I'm not the type to bag someone and, you know, bring them down. You know what I mean? I don't like bringing people down.
Well, what does that do in the end, you know?
Yeah.
And you're kind of
What does
wasting
that
your
actually
time
do?
doing it. It's
Yeah,
like,
and
you
then
could
if
be
they-
doing better things.
And if they fire back at you and they have a good, valid point or something, you read it. Fuck. And then you get angry about it, and then it turns into an argument. You know what I mean? I've had that happen on social media so many times. Like fucking, I had a dude post a photo of me not long ago. Like I was in the background of one of his photos. He was like, some nobody ruined the photo. And then like I see that shit and laugh. Like I don't give a fuck. But like this dude, big up Raz. Raz, another rapper, he commented on it. It's just like, fucking, like, what are you talking about Scumro for, cunt? You don't know this cunt and all this sort of shit. Started this huge argument with this bloke, like, and like messages me like half an hour later, like, oh, such this bro. And I'm like, I looked at this comment section, this dude's like backed me up, and like I've been met him 4 times and shit. He's just fucking backed me up and shit, and fucking gone off and at this random dude and shit, and fucking. I'm like,
I'll put that guy in his place.
Yeah, 100%. But like, I laugh at that shit because it's just like really, like, it's social media. Like, everyone's tough behind the keyboard. Everyone, when they're in when they're in the house with a bunch of locked doors and a fucking laptop in a room.
A bravest person I know.
Oh, mate.
Keyboard warrior.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Yeah.
They can say whatever the fuck they want. They don't give a fuck, especially when they're in Ballarat or wherever the fuck they are or something. Fucking, a bunch of shit like that.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's so true. You know, because people, they just, like, I find that when I'm walking, you know, down the street, or I don't know, throughout my whole life, man, I've found that like 97% of people are really good people.
Oh, Yeah.
I mean, at least
No one's
at least based on my experience.
No one's walking around. No one wakes up in the morning and goes, "Whose day am I going to make shit today?" like who
Yeah.
actually wakes up and thinks like, "I'm going to fucking hurt the world today"? Like some people, but most people that you think.
I think the actual number for that is 3%. Jordan Peterson said something like, people who are like born, give me if I don't like quote this right, but yeah, he said something like, what is it when you are a serial killer and you don't have feelings for anyone?
I know what you're talking about.
Masochist?
Something
No,
like
that's
that.
not the right word. I don't know.
Something like that.
But yeah, he said something like there's 3% of people, or like 1.5 to 3% of people who are just here for basically just pure evil.
Yeah, like the Jeffrey Dahmers and shit.
Yeah,
like those motherfuckers.
yeah,
Did
yeah.
you watch that?
Nah,
Oh, mate, it's fucked up. Like, it's a good insight.
I've heard.
It's a really good insight on it. Like, but I can understand how it'd be pretty fucked up with families and stuff because they completely remade his apartment, like to a T.
Yeah, fuck.
And shit for the show. Like, they completely remade the apartment, like identically and shit, all that sort of shit. And they,
Wait, who's Jeffrey Dahmer?
Jeffrey Dahmer? He's a dude that in America, I think it was in the late it was 90s or 80s. He killed a bunch of homosexual dudes who went out. Not all of them were homosexuals, but a lot of they were mixed race as well. Didn't have any targets or anything like that. Wasn't, he actually just wanted to fucking.
He just wanted to kill.
But no, the thing is, he wanted to be loved. Like, he wanted to have like a zombie in his house. You know what I mean? Like, he wanted to have someone that he could just have there at all times. So he was like trying to experiment with people and shit, trying to turn them into just like brain dead motherfuckers. And shit. He kept killing them. But
I thought you were just talking about some random killer, like just someone who likes to kill and not someone.
There was a show about it, man, and it goes all in it, and it kind of goes into how he was remorseful, but it was weird because he was like, no one understood why he did it completely. It was just he realized because he saw doctors and shit, he was sick, and he was one of those people that had no remorse. You know what I mean? When it came to the person and shit, like he was remorseful for the families because he felt like what he did for the families. But when it came to the people and stuff, it was like, yeah, he didn't want to kill them and shit, but he didn't see it as a problem. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't see it as like, this is wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't there, that sort of thing. It's like he let his intrusive thoughts take over completely, sort of thing. And then like,
I honestly, man, I think it wouldn't make sense for everyone to be good.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like, because you have this, yin and yang. Like you have, order, and you have chaos. You have good. You have bad.
Because
black, you have white.
without bad, that wouldn't be good.
Well, exactly. I mean, I don't.
Without good, that wouldn't be bad.
Yeah,
So
and like this world is like it's very interesting realm. That's for sure.
Very confusing.
But it's like it would go against nature itself for all humans to be just born good. Because I think. Well, I'm really into stories, and so I think of the human experience as very much like a story. And what's a story without
every human experience?
Yeah, what's a story without Voldemort? Imagine Harry Potter without 100%. Voldemort.
What's a story without? I've got people like I like to say I'm not angry, I'm not a hateful person, but there's some people out there that I actually do not fucking like, and it's just because of stuff that they do and stuff like that. I'm the Voldemort in their story. They're the Voldemort in my story. You know what I mean? That's the way
it can be seen to that.
That's the way I look at it. Everyone's got that villain. Everyone's got that someone that they fucking hate.
Yeah, and it's not just in the external; it's also in the internal.
100%.
Yeah, always external. Because what's really interesting? I think Harry Potter is like one of the most brilliant stories that's ever been produced. Like, because with Voldemort, right? He's not only the evil of the external, but you know how Harry has a scar.
Yeah.
Well, he has a piece of Voldemort in him. That's why he can talk to snakes.
Yeah.
And he's also not all good. And the Sorting Hat wanted him to go, suggested that he would do really well in Slytherin as well.
Yeah.
So he had, the dark, and he also had Gryffindor, the light. Yeah. And he's the one that chose to go the light route.
Yeah.
Tom Riddle, which is the, Lord Voldemort's actual name before he became just pure evil, when he was just, beginning in the story, he chose the evil path, the anti-hero.
Yeah.
So, Lord Voldemort is also inside him throughout, like, and really trying to make him do bad stuff. And Harry Potter goes to his like phase in like the 5th book, and he just like becomes, very, very tormented, very angry, and he's starting to. Well, that shadow side of him is really just waking up. You know,
he's
he was
starting to question everything. And shit.
Yelling at fucking Dumbledore and all, like his friend, Ron and Hermione. And then also he has to battle Lord Voldemort when he is actually attacking Harry. And so I think that's just a beautiful analogy for life. You know what I mean? Because you have the demons in here, but you have the devils out there.
Yeah. No, fuck. That's a good way to put it, for sure. Not wrong, man.
Yeah.
Fucking right. Harry Potter's a good fucking lesson, man. All those movies and shit. Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, even like all the animes and shit.
Oh my god, fucking don't get me started on animes, man. There's so much psychological depth to it.
Oh, bro, even like Dragon Ball Z. Shit.
Yes, man.
Bro, Dragon Ball Z, Avatar, like, there's so much shit in there. It's just like you learn life lessons, bro. Like, it's crazy, man.
You're so right, man. If you have eyes to see, you'll learn a lot.
100%, man. And it's the same with music, like when you don't have those role models and stuff like that, you look for it in movies, you look for it in, cartoons and shit like that.
Yep.
You want to be the good guy in the cartoon and all that sort of shit. Look up to.
I find that sometimes you want to be the bad guy as well, though.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah.
So many times I wanted to be fucking light out of Death Note. I wish I had a Death Note. So many times I'm growing up just right to the Death Note. That was one thing I always.
That was a good anime, wasn't it?
I was talking about that with my mate the other day and my missus. I went past it on Netflix yesterday with my missus, and I'm like, oh, she's not like anime at all. She doesn't understand that sort of thing. And I'm like, I'm like, Grace, I swear to God, this is one of the best shows of all time. You wouldn't even understand. Like, the plot of it is ridiculously good. And like, I literally said to her, I'm like, Grace, this would be better than any show you probably watch, like any real show. Like, I swear to God, the plot's insane of Death Note.
Yeah.
Love that shit. I remember Dylan's show. That was the first anime I watched. Apart from like Dragon Ball Z and all that short, like all that shit. Like first proper like anime I watched was Death Note.
Yeah.
Because Dylan was watching it. And I remember he showed some to me and I watched it in the Japanese version. And then I watched it a few years later and I understood it. Then I watched it in English version. I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. And then I watched it again later on in the Japanese version. I'm like, this is big. Like, holy fuck. And then, Death Note's fucking crazy. I love that show.
Fucking really good.
Yeah,
I mean, like, who would have thought that as well? Like, they're actually
what a crazy
so
concept.
creative.
Yeah, what a crazy concept. Like, to think of that shit is like, damn. Like, you got to be some smart motherfuckers.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be smoking weed, like, and doing some shit, get that creative.
Smoking weed.
I mean, I reckon it'd be really cool to be like a story, like an anime writer, and to work with the team and just create like a badass story.
Crazy story. That'd be fucking crazy, man. It'd be sick.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? Like, imagine how much money they make from all that.
Oh,
imagine how much money they have made from, let's say, like.
Well, let's say Dragon Ball Z. Or Naruto,
like even Dragon Ball Z.
Oh yeah, that's an old anime too, and it's still going.
Yeah,
it's still making stuff. They just came out with a new movie just a few months ago. What was it called? I don't know, something.
Even Pokemon.
Oh yeah, fucking Pokemon, man.
Pokemon would be probably one of the biggest money makers fucking ever.
Oh, they sell so much shit with even just like the games as well as like the products.
Yeah, like just like you got fucking toys, all that sort of shit, your cards, everything. Fucking fucking hell, money. Makes you think, like, you literally.
Some people living pretty well.
Yeah. So, like, some people really are living lavish right now just because they thought of a fucking bunch of cartoon shit.
Yeah.
Like, damn. I've thought of probably so many $1 million ideas.
Yeah.
I'm just let them go. See you later.
It's another story to manifest them into the reality, though, because it takes time, takes work.
That's the thing. Oh, it takes years of work.
Yeah.
And
how much time do you put in your music?
Oh, that's right. You know what I mean? And I'm not even anywhere near where I, want to be now. I never had the vision to where I wanted to be back in the day when I started. But now I'm like, you know what? I've got drive now. You know what I mean? I've got a spot where I want to be now. And that's just like.
Where's the spot?
Where's the spot? It'd be rocking shows, like just frequently. It's not really like a spot when it comes to views or anything like that, or like a fan count or anything like that. It's just like.
Would you want to be living off your rapping? Oh,
I don't think as an Aussie hip hop artist you can live off rap unless you're like the one. You know what I mean? Like
you always
precursor.
need. It does seem like you need a side hustle with being
Yeah.
an entertainer.
100%, man. Like, I don't.
What's your side hustle at the moment?
my side hustle, like for work and shit?
Yeah,
I'm actually a support worker.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Yeah.
What? I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, 100%, man. I only just got the job like a couple weeks ago and shit. So, yeah, I've been
Okay.
fucking, smashing that out.
So what does that involve?
Yeah, just working with like people that just need help. You know what I mean? Just help with any activities. You know what I mean? It can be walking to the mailbox, can be going to see family. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just,
seeing a lot of people in commissioning housing and stuff like that.
Yeah,
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 because
stuff like
my
that.
mum did a lot of that sort of like she had that experience. With people.
stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
she had
it's
counselors and stuff like that come over.
100%.
All
man.
that.
And I've only worked for like a couple of weeks, man, and it's already a great experience. Like, and it's something I've wanted to do for a long time.
Yeah,
I went into a course in year 12.
Yeah.
And I dropped out because of so much shit that was going on over the past few years.
Wasn't your time to do it?
Yeah, it wasn't my time at all, and I ended up dropping out of the course and stuff. Just heaps of shit went down, but got back on the road, and yeah.
What were you doing before that?
What was I doing before that? Oh, I've been in heaps of jobs, man. I worked at Resch Plumbing for 2 years. I worked at a pizza shop. I worked at Charcoal Chicken. I was a bricklayer's apprentice. I was a labourer for like 4 or 5 months or something. And then I was a garbo for like almost a year.
Yeah.
So a hard.
Yeah. So you tried multiple different jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like my resume. It's fucking it's a
I've
long
tried
list,
heaps of shit,
man. I think I counted like maybe 15, 16 different jobs.
Oh,
I was telling my friend like, oh, it's because he's only ever really done like coals and gardening and like maybe a few things with his dad. Yeah. He was saying like, yeah, I've done a few things, and I was like, oh yeah, well I've done, I just fucking kept naming shit. Yeah. So many, Yeah.
See,
it's good. It means you're exploratory. 100%. I like it.
Yeah, I tried to dip in everything, man. Like just trying to find like where I wanted to be, and like being a tradie is not what I want to do. All my mates are tradies and stuff, and it's just like I respect the tradie hustle. It's a fucking hard hustle, man. But I'm just not that type of dude. You know what I mean? I've got like I'm an empath. You know what I mean? I want to help people. Shit. And I've always, ever since I was
empath,
like isn't it an empath like when you feel for people and shit?
Yeah, I thought that was being an empath.
Empath, whatever. I'm not sure.
So it's probably a similar word. Anyway.
Probably, I don't know.
Someone's got it wrong.
Yeah,
but we know. Yeah, you're being like you want to help people. You feel other people's emotions, that sort of thing.
As growing up, I saw counselors and psychologists and all that sort of stuff all through my teenage years and shit. So having that around gave me an insight of what I want to do. You know what I mean? Because those people helped me heaps. You know what I mean? Helped me find heaps of different skills to help me when I'm struggling in different moments and all that sort of shit. And and it helped me write as well. You know what I mean? Like helped me learn to write. One of my counselors, John, he was a musician as well. He was a guitarist and stuff.
Wicked.
Yeah, he was a mad dude, awesome dude from Ireland, really cool dude, really mad dude. And I saw him. He was such a sick dude. I always used to see him at school, and he always used to say, "You gotta try writing your stuff down, all that sort of stuff. Like if you're feeling something, write it down, all that sort of stuff." And then I did do that, and I started writing my emotions down already.
Best thing you can say to a kid. I mean, like just write down whatever you feel. Yeah, 100%. That's what I don't like about the school system, man. It's like they just tell you, oh yeah, you need to write this about this book that you've never heard about, and you got to like somehow just like it and like it enough to read it for starters, and then you got to write about it. Like you don't give a fuck about this fucking book. Like I would just say to the kids, yo, just write whatever the fuck you want down. Read whatever the fuck you want to read. Because there's such good stuff out there.
Yeah. Venture into what you want to venture into. Yeah,
adventure.
Exactly.
You can be like, oh yeah, that's good. That's a good book. I've read that. I've written about that. That's awesome. You can say that, but don't tell them.
What I hate about the school system is BCE, you're going to learn how to make money for the government. VCAL, you're going to learn how to work for the government. You know what I mean? You're going to learn how to slave away for the government.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But BCE is slave away with your mind. You know what I mean? Use your mind. Do shit with that. You know what I mean?
Never had someone say that before as well.
And that's what I hate about the school system.
Yeah.
And it's not do what you want to do.
Mhm.
It's VCE. You go into these subjects, you do these, you pick what subject you want to do, and you get these and you pick which one you want to do. You don't think, I want to fucking do this. Can I do this? You know what I mean? Like it's not like that.
Yeah, and the options, man, are so
yeah,
minor.
you know what I mean? And like I hated school. I got to year 12. I finished year 12. But
VCE or VCAL?
VCAL. I was in VCE, but I was like, fuck this shit.
Year 11 VCE?
Yeah, year 11 VCE.
Did you do the whole thing or just?
No, I went halfway through year 11.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I did year 11 VCE and then I realized I didn't want. I was like, this was the stupidest thing I've ever done.
I never did a bit of homework in my life. I'm anti-homework. I'm full. Like I'd rock up to school no homework, and they'd be like, "Why didn't you do it?" I'm like, "Fuck you." That's why I like fuck homework. Like, no,
you end up just getting in trouble, but then you just keep going through school anyway.
I've just grown up. Like school is for school, home is for home. I'm not bringing school to home, and I don't bring home to school. So
well, it just means that the subjects you are learning you don't like enough as well.
Yeah, you know
they're not worth it.
And I had a lot of shit going on at home, but I used to have to, wrap it up, fucking man up, go to school. You know what I mean? I have to go to school and keep it in.
Yeah, that's that battle already done.
Yeah, and then it's already it's hold back from everyone. You know what I mean? Hold back from everyone, take everyone's shit and all that sort of stuff. So if I've got to do that, I'm not bringing school back home. You know what I mean? That was my fucking. I was like that in primary school, and I was fucking. And I said that to teachers, and they're like, "This cunt's so fucking about it." Fuck yous, I'm not doing homework.
Yeah.
And I'd only do it if mum would be like, "All right, do it," sort of thing. But like, it was only like a couple of things. But throughout all of high school, man, no fucking homework. No, not my thing. So VCE came along. And they're like, all right, study at home, do this, suck my dick.
Spend hours and hours,
I'll take my lunchtime away. Like, I'll study at lunchtime, you know what I mean? I'll give me an hour a day at lunchtime or some shit, you know what I mean? I'm not doing this shit at home. Fuck no.
I don't
smoke billies.
Straight up. I want to smoke billies and play some games.
Yeah, legit, man.
Hang out,
Yeah, but even when I was through, like, because I did like half year 12, like fucking COVID quarantine and shit, it was all cooked. Like,
oh, shit.
Yeah.
Fuck, I forget how, like,
COVID. Forgot about that. Hey.
No, I just forget how much younger you are than me. So you're 20, yeah?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
I only just turned 20.
How old is Brad? I thought he was 22.
22. Yeah.
So
I've been hanging out with him since I was.
Aren't you guys in the same year?
Nah. So I started hanging out with him when he was like. That's a funny fucking story. So
I could have sworn you guys were in the same year.
He was in year 10. I was in year 8 when I started hanging out with him.
Oh fuck.
So yeah. So listen to this. So I was fucking getting picked on all the time. Like all my mates were hanging out with this one dude that I didn't want to fucking hang out with. I was like, fuck that cunt. And I was just angry because all my mates are hanging out with him. So I used to walk around school by myself and shit. And I used to ask cunts for lunch money and shit because I used to save up on my lunch money and then go to Eastland and shit and buy clothes and that.
Right.
And I went up to him once because I used to save up my lunch money. I used to go up to cunts and ask for their lunch. I'm like, "Wait, are you gonna eat your lunch?" And they'd be like, and they'd just be like, "Oh no." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll have it." Like, "Fuck yeah, give it to me. Don't chuck it out, you fucking cunt."
Yeah.
And then I went up to Brad once, and how's this? I went up to him. I'm like, "Oh, you got anything to eat?" And like Brad used to bag the fuck out of me, like back in the day. Like it was funny, but it was never like a mean. Like he was never mean about it. It was always just like, "Oh, come over here, and like he'd just like
he's having a laugh though.
Yeah, he'd just have a laugh and shit. Everyone would laugh at me and shit, but he wasn't mean about it.
Yeah.
And I went up to him once. Like he'd walk past me and he'd be like, "Hey, pubehead," or something like that. But like he wasn't mean about it. Like that was the banter I understood. Like just the stupid banter. Like
he was playing with you.
Yeah, he was just mucking around. You know what I mean? And I went up to him at lunchtime once. I'm like, "Oh yeah, you got like a sandwich I can have or something?" And he's like, "All right, if you do a Peter Griffin voice." How's that? Peter Griffin voice. I did a Peter Griffin voice for him and shit. And then
can you do us the Peter Griffin?
I can't do it anymore.
Nah, damn it.
Damn it. Nah, bro. Everyone asked me like, "Oh, do the Peter Griffin voice recently." No,
when was the last time you did it?
I've tried it like every now and then, like recently, and it's just not the same. It's not the same as what it used to be. Like, so it's just like every time I'll be with Brad.
You could get it back though.
I could if I practiced. You know what I mean? It's just about practice. I stopped doing it. Like, it faded out. Everyone got sick of it. Everyone's like, "Oh, do the Peter Griffin voice," and it ended up turning into a joke about it. Like, but, yeah, from then on, me and Brad started hanging out and shit, and just from then on, we just kicked it off. We just could not stop hanging out because every time we hung out, it was just non-stop laughs. Always be laughing when I'm with Brad, you know what I mean? And it's been like that for fucking, what's that, year 8? 9, 10, 11, 12, and then 1, 2, like 6 or 7 years. That it's like me and Brad have just been hanging out. We had like a year break where we stopped hanging out, but like we've just been non-stop laughs and shit. And that's why I hang out with Brad all the fucking time for that reason.
Yeah.
It's just always laughs, positive energy all the time.
Brad's a good dude.
He's a mad
Yeah.
dude.
Shout out to the first episode.
Shout out to Great White. Fuck yeah. He's a mad.
Oh man, yes.
But yeah, man. All the homies. Shout out all the homies.
Yeah. So tell me this, man. So tell me, who were the top 3 rappers that really you felt connected with and inspired you?
Straight up, it'll be Cursor, Alex Jones, and there's countless, man. But like when it comes to Aussie artists, like it'll be Cursor, Alex Jones, even Complete.
Yep.
And
I only know one song by Complete. It's Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah.
Best song.
That's a song from that album. Is actually. Oh wait, no, it might not be that album. No, a song from Paranoid Prison.
He's got another one from that album, but I can't remember what it was. But yeah, I just remember loving that song.
Yeah, bro.
So good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Blood off my Nikes. That song was that was the shit back in the day.
Yeah.
But there's a song like my dad on fucking Paranoid Prison that I listen to. It's about
My dad stinks. Like no, how's it go?
It's like what is it? It's like my dad. No, it's like
no, I've heard that.
I want to see his face.
Play it.
Yeah, let me get that shit
Just
up.
play it. Because I've heard that song.
Oh,
I've heard that song.
It's oh man, I was like, fuck, Complete. And Complete's just like, he really speaks his thoughts and shit like that. And yeah, he's someone I've always fucking respected, just how he just puts everything on a page, you know what I mean? Like, doesn't really.
No.
Oh no, it's just called Dad. Yeah. This one.
Yeah. Fuck, I haven't heard this song for so long.
Yeah, no, like
this is me at 16, surely. Yeah, that was 16 me listening to that.
Yeah, man, I was fucking I related to that shit heavy, man. But like American artists as well. So many American artists, and like just like Nas, Mobb Deep, Tupac, Biggie, like all them motherfuckers. You got Lloyd Banks, you got like all just 50 Cent. Like I could keep naming them forever. You know what I mean? Like so many rappers and like Wu-Tang, like Method Man, all that sort of shit. Everyone in Wu-Tang, fucking everyone. But like a lot of Wu-Tang, especially. I got a Wu-Tang tat. Like I relate to Wu-Tang a lot of. Yeah, bro, I got Wu-Tang right there, and like I got a
dope.
Fucking like a heart, like a mic, drumsticks, and like a record there.
Yeah, that's nice.
Playing shout out Juddy Rotten.
Yeah,
Juddy Rotten did them.
Wicked.
Yeah, I relate to like a lot of Ghostface Killer's stuff and like all that sort of shit, like Raekwon and all that sort of shit, and like just like a lot of struggles and shit that like a lot of American artists go through, and like all that sort of shit also helped me. Like it's the same as Aussie artists and shit like that, because there's a lot of certain lyrics and just certain stuff that can just make you think like, holy shit, holy fuck, there's people on the other side of the world that are going through what I'm going through, you know what I mean? Like all that sort of shit. Even like Mortal Technique and all that sort of shit, like fucked up shit. All that sort of stuff. Like just like the fact that, have you heard Dance with the Devil by Mortal Technique?
Yeah, everyone's heard that
song, bro.
Yeah.
Like just the fact that someone can come up with such fucked up shit, it gives you an insight of their mind, you know what I mean? And like,
people are dark.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And like, but it's such a beautiful thing at the same time. Like that song's so fucked up that I listen to that song and it gives me not a dark feeling, but it gives me a feeling of like another feeling, like you can relate to someone sort of thing, because he's thinking of such fucked up shit, you know what I mean? And it's the beauty of art, you know what I mean? Like you can turn negatives into positives like that, you know what I mean? That's one of the biggest songs ever.
Yeah, and sometimes looking at the devil's eyes as well, when you see pure, well, what the human is capable of doing, and you really look at evil for what it is, you gain wisdom from it.
Yeah.
You certainly, for most people, you learn that you're not a bad person as well.
Exactly.
Especially when you look at real evil.
No,
you know?
that's spot on, man. I realized I used to, when I was younger growing up, like, I used to look at, like, everyone.
Shall we roll another joint?
Yeah, 100%.
I got.
man.
Hold up 2 secs.
Yeah, sweet, bro. I used to fucking. I used to fucking. Fuck knows. I forgot what I was even talking about. What's up, Poppy? Big ups, Bro 58. Big ups, Komodo 9 to 5. Big ups, all the 9 to 5 boys. Pardon? I don't have papers. Alright, sweet. Big ups, Fresh Junior. Big ups, Dion on the camera. Big ups, Beads. Sorry. Big ups, all the homies. Fuck yeah. I know I'm forgetting someone. Who knows? Who fucking knows? We're living a vida loca. Oh yeah, to anyone's listening, I dropped a music video last night. Joe Pesci one take. Go suss that shit. Cold this bitch. Shit. My dog's just saying.
I was about to give up. I was just about to, couldn't find any papers.
So fuck it.
And I was like, oh shit, damn, I should have like prepared for this, like.
No, I was gonna bring some too, but I was like, oh no, I brought two things.
Yeah.
Bro,
No.
have you ever smoked a backwood?
Backwood?
You know what they are?
No.
So you know like plants.
Yeah.
So like a backwood is like what the Americans smoke and shit. They're like it's like a tobacco leaf, right? So like, but it's like a cigar, right? You get a cigar, whole cigar, and it's got like all the shit in it, all the tobacco, whatever. But it's like wrapped in an actual tobacco.
Do you
leaf.
prefer straight or with?
Oh.
Just so you know, this is this is just pure tobacco. Like,
Really?
Yeah. It's from the jungle.
Really?
Yeah, from the Amazon. My shaman wouldn't like hearing this, but yeah.
Bro, that's sick.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
this
keen
is
as fuck
actually
for that.
have a smell, like it's just organic.
Bro.
And yeah, so do you know much about ayahuasca?
Not really.
Yeah, so with the ayahuasca brew, they'll put some tobacco in it.
Yeah.
And when you got to look at ayahuasca as a spirit.
Yeah.
And the spirit of tobacco is called mapacho. And yeah, they just use like, organic, real tobacco, and it's not even, that bad for you. I mean, like my shaman looks fucking good, man.
Yeah.
And she's like buzzing, feeling good. Like, it just doesn't have all that,
all the chemicals and shit.
all the chemicals and shit.
Fuck that.
Like, why do they do that? Why don't they just sell real fucking tobacco?
I'll tell you right now, I don't smoke ciggies.
Yeah.
I don't smoke vapes.
Yeah.
I used to be a vape head. When I'm off the chuff, I try and so I only smoke tobacco to make my chuff last long.
Yeah.
Just straight up. Like, and I'm mostly green. Like I'll go mostly green half the time. Like,
I'm the same. I only smoke this stuff.
Yeah.
Like in terms of tobacco, I only smoke just tobacco. That's it.
Like, and if I quit weed, I quit everything. Like I'm not smoking vapes. I'm not smoking ciggies and shit because I hate tobacco. Like I've been coughing black for
Oh, shit.
Like I'm yeah, like I've
you
been
you checked that out?
Yeah,
Gone to a
went-
naturopath?
no,
Or?
I went to a doctor and shit. He's like, stop smoking.
Don't go to doctors, man. You got to go to a real healer. You
No,
got to
I
go to
feel like-
naturopath.
I feel like I've actually got.
You might have a good one.
You know, what
Yeah.
what I feel like I've got?
Hmm.
Like I've been told it was like smoking and shit, but it comes and goes, like sort of thing. And I reckon because I'm in like housing and stuff, like we've got mold. In the,
Oh,
house and all
fuck,
that
man. If you
sort of
got-
shit.
Yeah, dude, mold and
And,
dust are just as bad as smoking
yeah,
ciggies.
and
Like,
what
it's
I'm-
bad for
And
you.
what I'm thinking of, because my nose gets like completely blocked at night time and shit. And I'm thinking
Yeah.
like, oh, what the fuck's that all about? And it makes me think because it's only in the morning when I'm spitting black and all that sort of shit. So I'm getting completely clogged up at night time and stuff. And we've got like a humidifier and all that sort of shit. But yeah, I've got a feeling it's not to do with smoking. I have a feeling it might be like long COVID or some shit. You know what I mean?
Man, I
Because
think
ever since I got
just- yeah.
COVID, and then after I healed from COVID, I started coughing up shit, phlegm all the time. You know what I mean? And I'm a heavy weed smoker.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Yeah.
Are you vaccinated?
Yeah.
Double?
Yeah, I had to. Get
Yeah.
my job.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to do that.
Yeah.
I didn't want it at all.
Most
But-
people didn't want that, man.
Yeah, no, fuck no. I didn't want to do it at all.
And
but
so did you have COVID before the vaccine?
uh,
Yeah. So you got COVID post-vaccine. And once you got the COVID, then you started what?
ever
Spitting
since
out blood.
after I healed up,
black.
yeah, after I healed up from COVID,
That's when it
feeling
started.
All congested.
So it's real recent.
Yeah, this whole year, ever since I healed from COVID, my whole face is like just felt congested in the mornings and shit. And I will wake up in the morning, so yeah, cough up all that shit or whatever. But it's not. I've gone to my doctor and he says smoking and all that sort of shit. But what I'm
You're
realizing
so
is,
young.
now the thing is, yeah, he said, "Oh, you're 20." No, this is when I was 19. He goes, "You're 19 and you've got the smoking career of a 35-year-old that's been smoking for 10 years." That's what he said to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, the thing is, I've been smoking since I was 15, but I've been smoking daily, or it might be 14, but I've been smoking daily since I was 16.
Yeah.
So halfway through 16, maybe I've been smoking every day, and I've taken a couple weeks off and all that sort of shit, all that sort of stuff. But the only reason I don't think it's smoking is because I quit smoking. And I'm still hocking up all this phlegm all the time and shit. You know, what I mean? I'm still congested all the time. And I quit smoking to see if that would fix it up. And I quit smoking for like 3 weeks. Bang, didn't stop. Like nothing stopped. And I'm like, fuck this, I'm smoking again. And yeah, so
You should could I
what I
you
want to do
should
is,
really go to that naturopath in Hillsville?
yeah,
You should check her out and
I might.
tell her what you just told me because
yeah,
dude,
reckon I might.
this is look, people are they're probably gonna like start thinking of me in a certain way because I'm saying this, but
Nah, bro, I believe in
you-
all fucking natural remedies and all that sort of shit and
no.
everything.
Would you perhaps play with the idea that the reason why you're spitting out black is because you got vaccinated? Do you think that's possible?
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
bro. I think it could be vaccination and shit. The only reason I'm thinking that is because I've never had congestion problems in my whole life. You know what I mean? My whole life, I've never had congestion problems.
And so you never had it until the vaccine, and then boom, you just started having it.
Until it was after the
Vaccine and then COVID.
and then after COVID. So it was after I got COVID, after I had the vaccine.
And that whole fucking this whole COVID
I reckon it's
everything that happened was an absolute scheme.
Yeah, it ain't.
That's fuck.
Yeah, nah, like it ain't real. Like straight up, bro.
Oh, yeah. It was a
There's
fucking setup, man.
Yeah, nah, this shit ain't fucking. Nah, it's man made. It's man made and it's bullshit. You know what I mean? What about that death count? What about that death count that was going on? All those people.
Yeah.
No, that was not real at all. They started relate that all this thing was all a big scare tactic. Everything. It was chemical warfare.
Yeah.
I reckon it was chemical warfare.
I mean, and the statistics were like for who was dead, right? Who died
And the
were
amount of times-
just old people. And
Yeah.
it was I looked at the numbers, man, and it was the exact same number for the amount of elderly die from the flu.
Yeah.
And now it's just getting worse. Now
Yeah.
it's getting bumped up because they're all fucking jacked up to, four jabs or whatever.
Yeah. So now they've got COVID in them. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
now they're everything's COVID related. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm,
It's all the big COVID. Everything's just fucking COVID related. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
biggest fucking
Half the deaths that were going on were COVID related
Mhm.
back when all this shit was going on hectic. And like I was seeing so many people that
Yeah.
actually had someone in their family fucking die, and they're getting on their death certificate or whatever the
COVID
fuck it is,
death,
that it was a COVID death. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so they had a heart attack and died, and then it was COVID death.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, there's so much of that shit
So
going on.
much of that shit was
Yeah.
happening, and it was fucked.
And if you
as
said
soon
that
as
to
someone
anyone
would speak-
before-
and as soon as those people would speak up about it, it was money talk.
Uh-huh.
All right, hush money sort of thing. That's what was happening.
Hush money, and like the other being like, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist, you're overthinking it.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
the government wouldn't lie.
100%.
As
And-
if the government would lie. They only have been
And
only done that since dawn of fucking time.
this might be controversial to bring up.
Oh, I love the controversial shit. Love it.
Do you know why? You know what confuses me?
Mm.
COVID happened exactly the same time all that Epstein shit was going on, and all the world leaders and everything, all the people in the world started getting really accused of shit. Remember all that island shit and everything, and all the people that were famous and all the people that you love and everyone loves and knows was getting called out. Bang, COVID. And then everyone forgot about that shit. Everyone forgot about it. There was this dude that was dropping videos calling everyone out, and he's like, I'm fucking serious, believe me or don't believe me, but I need to say this, yada yada. Made a huge live stream, bang,
Yeah.
found dead a week later.
Seriously.
Yeah, bro. All this crazy shit happened, and all these people, I was following all this fucking conspiracy theorist shit, like proper conspiracy theorist shit when all that shit was going on.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was seeing all this fuck shit. All the people, all the Tom Hankses, all them cunts and all that sort of shit, they were fucking, fucking, you know what I mean? They were, doing shit.
They were
Something
getting
was
caught
going
for
on.
shit.
Getting caught for shit.
What-
Shit was going
Do
on
you
and
know
all that.
what kind?
Like I'm talking, I can't remember who the fuck it was, but there was a video going around of a bunch of little girls in a fucking room or something, and it was like a ritual room or some shit. And someone sneakily got fucking footage of it, and it was had something to do with
Adrenochrome stuff.
the chroming, whatever
yeah.
the fuck it is, all that sort of shit. And a video got released of it, of the fucking, like someone quickly fucking got a video, like just holding their phone sideways, like walking and shit, and quickly got a video of it. It's like a bunch of little girls in gowns dressing up and a bunch of old men and shit, all this sort of shit. And I'm talking in those weeks, COVID, bang. I'm talking in those weeks.
That's something to think about.
Yeah, and I remember calling that shit.
I didn't know that was all getting caught out. I found out about
Social media was really bad. Facebook was really bad. And that's why everything is, all these people have gone over Facebook fact checking, all that sort of shit, all that sort of stuff.
Censorship
And
is such a big
Instagram
thing now.
censorship came right in these past couple of years, because Facebook, when COVID started, just before COVID started, Facebook, Instagram was getting flooded with conspiracy theorist shit because everyone started waking up.
Yeah,
The world-
in 2019,
world-
I saw a lot of flat Earth stuff, and
the
I was
world
like thinking,
literally started to
whoa.
wake up, and it wasn't even just, it was just about all the government shit, you know what I mean? Like
Mm.
all the fucking pedophiles and all that sort of shit. The world was starting to wake up and realize that we're fucking being controlled by the fucking worst people that we can be controlled by, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
We're just playing the game of divide and conquer that was set in place 200 years ago. And people were starting to wake up to that and starting to realize, fuck the Queen, fuck this person, fuck that person, you know what I mean? People started, talking up, and then they had to go, all right, shut the fuck up, COVID, the whole world's going to die, everyone panic.
Wow. Dude, you know what? That's so funny, because I found out about that stuff after COVID.
And I put that shit together myself. That whole theory I just did right there, I put that shit together myself. Just over the past couple of years, sitting there watching this shit.
Oh, well, I can confirm that I know a few people that have a similar theory.
Yeah, man.
I didn't know about them getting caught out and yelled at, but I heard about all that stuff, and I was like,
Not
okay,
like
that
properly,
makes a
not
lot.
properly called out by anyone big, you know what I mean? It was just posts like from random people, conspiracy theorists that would blow up, you know what I mean, and all that sort of shit. And everyone's going, "Hang on, what the fuck?" True, everyone's talking about it, and then you get a YouTube video that happens. Boom, that YouTube video gets taken down. Fucking blah, 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 blah. Everyone shut the fuck up. COVID, fucking something else is happening. Boom, forget about it. Something else is happening. You know what I mean? And that's the way a lot of shit's happening with social media. It's something.
That's why I've got
happens-
my own website, man. So I'm doing like half of this on YouTube, and the other half is just strictly on like
Your own
my
website
own
and
website.
shit.
Because it's like, well, I don't want my shit to get censored. I want to just be fucking
just-
me on this, man.
Exactly.
You know,
What's
I
the
want
point
to
of
smoke weed. I want to like have good conversation. I want to talk. I want to actually chat about this sort of stuff. You know why?
Legit, mate.
Because I think without a conversation, without a debate about whatever it is that you're thinking about, you need. That's how you discover the truth.
100%. And
I mean, how can you
reflect
know-
on what you talk about?
Exactly. Like, how can you discover the truth without you thinking? Like, if you just watch a random video about these, elitists, taking babies and drinking their blood, basically, and so that they can live longer and, have fucking
all that
superhuman
sort of
powers
shit.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck, like depends on what you've heard. But
Yeah.
you know, when you hear that, are you just meant to ignore it, especially if you see it? You know,
if you see it and you get that feeling in your chest, like this is
feeling
happening.
of truth.
Yeah, like this is happening.
Mhm,
You
mhm.
get that feeling. You can't just go like, oh yeah, next, swipe down. You know what I mean? Like that's and I don't. It's just like I see that shit and I remember it. I'm fucking thinking of it. I'm telling every
Yeah.
cunt, wait, fucking. I'm the type to. I fucking hate the government. I hate
Yeah.
the fucking
Oh,
government.
dude, I'm
I
the
hate,
exact same.
Yeah, I hate all that shit. I hate. My mum's a forgotten Australian from Win Leighton Girls Home and all that sort of shit. She was in there when she was
Leighton
younger.
Girls? What's this?
Win Leighton Girls Home. It was a government led facility for troubled kids and all that sort of shit. There was a boys' home as well and all that sort of shit. And it was a bunch of corrupt shit went in there. Like bunch of corrupt shit went on and all that sort of shit. Like a bunch of real fucked up shit. And I won't get too much into it sort of stuff. But it was like if anyone wants to read up on that, fucking search up Win Leighton Girls Home and you'll read up on some fuck shit. And
Can you fix my joint? I'm too stoned to roll.
But I hate the government and all that sort of shit because I've witnessed by family and all that shit firsthand how fucked they can be.
Well, who gives them the right to have
you know what I mean?
utmost
So I'm the
control
type, if
over
I
us?
see something corrupt, you know what I mean, I'll word every cunt up, you know what I mean? Because I want everyone to be awake and realise.
They shouldn't be allowed to get away with this.
Yeah, no, we got to and the only way we can fucking actually, the only way we can actually change as a society is if everyone wakes up. And it's not going to take it's not going to take a week.
Yeah.
It's going to take a decade or some shit before everyone's changed and realises we don't follow social media anymore. Social media will die. I reckon social media will die and everyone's going to have a fucking big awakening soon. You know what I mean? I could just be sounding like a crazy cunt on the mic right now, but
in a few years, I think there's a few people out there that would listen to this conversation and be like, "Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Like, I've woken up as well." And a few people are going to listen to this and be like, "Yeah, I'm on that level as well."
Like in the past,
people are waking up, man.
Yeah, like it would have been the past couple of years. I've definitely fucking had my fucking awakening. That's for sure. And I can't stand social media because of that. You know what I mean? I can't stand because I can't believe anything I see anymore. You know what I mean? I can't even watch the news. I literally can't even.
Yeah,
because
how do you know if they're telling the truth? Because their word is now, they've lost so much integrity, and their word has no meaning anymore. When they tell, because we can guess for a fact
they're all programmed and they're reading off a screen. Different news channels are just saying the same fucking shit.
Yeah, it's never even.
You know what I mean? For different ratings, and they're saying it a little bit different so they can get better ratings than the other person. That's all it is. And they're trying to paraphrase and make everything sound fucking, like they fucking. I hate the news, man. The only fucking news I watch is like the news that no one watches. You go on like channel like fucking, not channel 7, 9 or fucking, all that shit.
Like Sky News, Rebel News,
all that sort of shit.
They're good. They're really good. Like I find that it depending on like their presenter as well, they'll like attack the story differently. Like, I think variety is so important.
You got reporters that actually want to see change. For all those people, for all those,
like RV.
Sort of people, actual reporters, you know what I mean? That go out there and fucking risk their lives and shit just to fucking get the story out.
That's real journalism, man. That's real journalism.
110%. That's the journalism I appreciate.
Yeah, dude. Respect to the journalists out there who are actually just 100%. Being real journalists. Like that's cool, like that's awesome.
And that's something that's definitely dying, Everything that's televised now is controlled so heavily.
Because everyone needs to get paid, man.
Yeah.
Everyone needs money.
So, everyone's choosing money over them. Like, oh, fuck it.
Hard not to in this crazy economy.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because nowadays, if you step out of line, fuck off, see you later, we'll get someone else.
Yeah, you just get fired.
In a click, you know what I mean? Yeah. Especially for big companies and all that sort of shit. Everything's numbers.
Yeah.
So everyone's afraid to step out of line. You know what I mean? And that's why fuck living that life. Fuck being I don't care about making money with rap or anything or being in industry or anything like that. It's literally to get emotions out and just to have people relate. You know what I mean? Because being in the industry, I've heard nothing but bad things. You know what I mean? Scary, fucking bad things. Best mates turning on you, fucking, people judging you from all different fucking sides of the room. You know what I mean? And all that sort of shit. Fuck that. Just be you. You know what I mean? Be you and be happy doing what you do. Because fuck being in a place where you're controlled. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
you can't put out the art. Like, if I was under a label or some shit like that, they're like, oh, we want you to put out this type of music. If I didn't agree with it, I'd instantly hate it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, fuck this. You know what I mean? Like, and then if I step out of line, see you later. You know what I mean? Like,
That's why it's so
fuck that.
important for us to be
And that's
strong as individuals, you know,
Yeah,
to
and
be able to
that's-
hold our own.
And that's why I respect Cursor so much. And that's why I look up to Cursor so much, because he made it possible for individual Aussie artists like.
Is he leading by
Aussie
example,
rap
or did he
artists.
do something specific?
He basically took the route of being independent completely. Like, fucked all record labels off, fucked all radio off. Like, said fuck Triple J. Like, you can get fucked. Got blacklisted from Triple J. All that sort of shit.
Sure,
And,
didn't know that.
yeah, he went completely independent, and
Yeah.
he's probably the biggest Aussie rapper. Completely independent. He's got a song with Future. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and he made it possible for independent artists to blow up and all that sort of shit, to get that attention. You know what I mean? Because he created that fan base. People, oh, we love this. We want to see more. Who else is there? You know what I mean? And that's because a lot of people drifted to Oz rap through Cursor. You search up Aussie rap, what comes up? Cursor. Like, you know what I mean? Or Hilltop Woods or some shit like that.
Listener, so 360. The Cursor's like top 3, top 5, easy.
Because he's still going.
Yep.
And yeah, he's just like made it possible for like people like me to not be judged when they drop a song, and everyone's, you know, no one's like, he went through all that hate, all that, oh, look at this fucking cunt, all that sort of shit, fucking yada yada yada, rapper, all this sort of shit, and he went through all that hate so people can just be a rapper. You know what I mean? It's normal.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, that's why I love Cursor so much, because if it wasn't for Cursor, there wouldn't, like, people like me wouldn't be able to be a rapper without being judged. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a big thing for like independency and shit like that, to not be under a label or not be in the industry or anything like that. Just do your own thing and be yourself.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because like the internet is seen as there's so much negative aspects to it, but the biggest positive though is just the fact that you can literally just put up a website. You can, you know, make money off YouTube and Spotify, and you can get yourself just out there on the net, and people will just find you and search for you. And like, if you advertise well, you will have, you know, millions of people, and you don't have to rely on anyone for that. All you have to do is put in work on the internet.
Yeah.
And this is what's really damaging for the elitists or the government, because they don't know how to control the internet. How are they gonna, you know what I mean? Like, people's awareness are going, it's just rising so much quicker than what it was, because everyone's thoughts and everyone's like wisdom is getting brought out just on the internet, and you can just search. I mean, there's thousands and thousands of conversations out there. Like, man, look at podcasting. It's actually crazy how popular it is, and just how much you learn. Oh my God.
Fucking hell,
literally.
Man. Half the fucking shit that I talk about, really interesting topics that I'll bring up or something with one of the boys or something, it'll be off like a Joe Rogan podcast. You know what I mean?
Dude.
Like, I've like
you learn so much through conversation, man.
Bro, I saw this one with this chick that escaped North Korea.
Oh, I saw that.
Holy
I can't pronounce the name.
Fuck.
That was good. I mean, like, you know, sad, but
like, it's actually, it made me think, like, and I think I have it hard.
Yeah.
It was normal for this young girl to walk around and just see dead bodies, to the point where she doesn't react to it, because it was so normal to just see dead bodies.
Yeah.
That is fucked. And the whole thing with the Kim Jong-un photo, every person had to have a photo of Kim Jong-un.
Oh, yeah, they had to pray to him as well.
Yeah, in their fucking house. And they could come in, right, and do a random check. And if you had a speck of dirt on your fucking Kim Jong-un photo, boom, you're done. See you later.
Absolutely.
I think it's like, and you get, like generations of your family get punished and shit like that if you fuck up. If you steal, I think it's like 3 generations of your family get sentenced to like fucking slavery or some shit.
Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. And if there's a fire, if you don't take out Kim Jong-un's picture, you will get shot. Just boom. You know, if there's a fire in your house, I'm pretty sure that's what that woman said. Like, if there's a fire and you don't take out his picture,
and it's normal. So they don't have like they don't think like, oh, this is fucked up. You know, they don't have that. They don't have that. This is not how we're meant to live.
You didn't even know Australia existed.
Yeah. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like they get told on a speaker every morning what they're gonna do for the day.
Mm-hmm.
And shit like that.
Absolute dystopia.
Like, what the fuck? Like actual movie.
Mm-hmm.
Proper fuck.
When I heard that, it really gave me perspective on like North Korea and China's like, not much better.
You got the thing is, apparently they've made it like a place you can go travel to as well and all that sort of shit.
You can actually go to North Korea.
I'm pretty sure.
Like I've
Maybe
seen
South Korea I'm talking about.
definitely
I don't think you
South
can go to
Korea.
North
That's
Korea.
it's pretty much a
It's
free
just normal
country.
Korea.
Yeah.
It's Korea. Normal Korea.
Well, it's split in between the borders.
This tobacco's actually cool.
It's really nice, eh? Yeah.
Fucking fuck.
Yeah,
It's
it's
nice.
really good. Just yeah, and it's a good good smoke even just by itself, And well, you don't inhale it because it's actually got 36 times more nicotine in it than a regular cigarette. So you have receptors in your mouth and all up here, right?
Yeah.
So with Mapacho, you shouldn't inhale it because you just don't really need to. Oh, you can. I inhale it when I'm smoking weed.
when you're smoking weed,
That's
shit,
different.
yeah,
But when it's by itself,
it's like a cigar.
like a cigar, yeah.
you don't
But it's
inhale
got an insane amount of tobacco into it compared to the cigarettes that we get sold. The absolute poison sticks that they sell to us. The audacity to just sell us that shit and get people hooked.
you hear about New
It should be
Zealand?
fucking illegal, man.
Do you hear about New Zealand?
No.
No one
What
born
happened?
after 2009 can buy tobacco anymore. Bam. See you later, tobacco.
Really?
Yep. No one born after 2009 can buy it.
So is it really?
Yeah.
Because it's still illegal to import tobacco. It's illegal to import this stuff.
Yeah.
So there's just been no tobacco in the country, sort of thing.
No, there'll be tobacco. It's just only for people that were born after
2000.
born before 2009. Yeah.
Shit.
So
I'm surprised by that because the government makes so much money with that.
they've got vapes now. I think they've got vapes. Nothing against vapes. So it's just like tobacco. You know what I mean? Like ciggies and pouches and shit. Pretty fucked, but pretty good as well.
I mean, to me, man, after all this shit, it just makes me sus about it.
Look, I don't know what's more unhealthy out of vaping or ciggies, because the thing about vaping is they're like 10 times more addictive because the flavors and how
The
easily
ease.
accessible it is. Like you just bang.
Yeah.
And like that's when they just started and shit like that, I had a couple of shit like that and I fucking loved them. Like, yeah, these are sick.
Oh, tasty as.
Oh,
man.
and when
Yeah.
I'm pissed, I'm like, well, I fucking love a vape and shit. But like normal day to day use, fuck that, because I know how easy it is. When I was breathing, I started hearing like when I'm breathing and shit because I was vaping so fucking much, and my breath was just cardio just got fucked up.
Yeah.
Just because of how easy and how much I was doing. I used to just legit sit in the back of my car when I'd have a shit day. I'd sit in the back of my car, have a vape, and just rock myself till I went to sleep. Wake up a couple of days later.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and that's how fuck, just the head rushes and how much you can get from it makes you think how much you actually doing damage to yourself. Because people are just making it normal, oh yeah, do a blinker. When you have
What's a blinker?
have a huge hit of a vape until it's not meant to bring out anymore and it starts blinking and shit.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, and that's a normal thing everyone does.
That's kind of equivalent to I forgot what it's called. Did you ever see those videos of people ripping a cone and then drinking the water at the same time?
Oh, chat.
Is that what it's called, or
Wait,
that's to me that blinker is the equivalent to a person. Well, I mean the same sort of extreme.
It's like an extreme. Oh yeah, do a blinker. It's not that extreme.
Maybe it's not that extreme.
But yeah, it's not that extreme, but it's extreme.
Yeah.
Drinking bong water is fucked. I've never done it.
Well, apparently they just do it clean water.
If you do it with clean water,
it's not even that big of a deal.
Not even
But
that big of a deal,
I've
but
seen some videos where I'm like, it looks dirty.
Motherfuckers do some filthy shit. Some filthy bong water.
You ever had a backy bomb? You ever done it? Yeah, dude. I've only done them. You guess where I did them?
Where?
I think it's the Year 7 and 8 building in Hillsville High.
Really?
Right behind there where the sheeps are. You know where the sheeps are on
Yeah.
the left? Yeah,
Yeah.
around there. I think I've done them. I think I did 5 of them before I was like, nah, I'm not doing this ever again. Like we did it
Backy
once.
bongs at school.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Fuck.
Oh yeah. That's everyone. That's Hillsville High School for you.
Yeah,
like,
that's Hillsville High, smoking billies in the bike shed behind the school.
oh
Shit.
mate, 100%. Like so, I did that
See,
maybe twice with my like yeah. I think with my friends we did it about 5 times, and then I've never done backy bong ever again because they were really fucked. Like I got like stoned from that.
What? Yeah, it'd be fucked.
Especially when you're like 16 as well. Like
bro, I'll tell you. I actually never got stoned and went to school. I never went to school high.
yeah.
Ever.
Really?
And I smoked all the time. I was everyday smoker and shit from like halfway through year 10 to 12.
So what you smoked after?
Yeah, I just smoked after school and shit. Never
Yeah.
smoked before school. I don't know what it was. I just loved school. Like I don't know. I never just felt the need to be a morning smoker and shit. Never smoked before school. I did it once and it was on muck up day.
Oh yes.
Yeah, just went to school stoned as fuck.
Yeah, I've definitely done the whole going to school stoned a few times.
Yeah, no. I
Not
never
as
did
much
it.
as I've done for
I
work.
was surprised. Like now I look at myself and I'm like, fuck, like, why didn't I do that? Like I would have loved school stoned. Like I never
I don't know. You might not have.
really. Yeah,
To
would've
me,
gone-
it
maybe
wasn't
could've
really. It was good when I had a easy class. Like if I had Japanese and sport,
Yeah.
fucking the best
gone-
time
yeah,
ever.
sweet.
But if it was like English or math, you know that like it would just be so awkward sitting there
Yeah.
and you're just staring at your nuts, just staring at this piece of paper. Like especially if your teacher's like either strict, it's good when you're like just
Yeah.
watching movies or like an easy. If you have an
you're
easy
just doing
day,
something easy, but then
perfect.
it's like, all right, we got all this to do. You got to fucking fill out this. Do
Yeah, and
that,
they yell at
fucking
you,
do
"Hey,
that
can you answer
project
this?"
Starting today.
yeah,
Fucking,
make you read out loud in the book in front of the whole class. You're just like, yeah.
no, I didn't think of that actually. Fuck that, because
It can be good. It also can be shit.
The thing is, because I was the type of dude that would always talk in class. So like,
It depends on a teacher. Like, what depends on what you got away with. You know.
Well, back in my day, like back when I was doing a lot of dumb shit, I actually did Zannies before school.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, and I went to school.
Why'd you want that, man?
Oh, I was just being a fuckhead. I was for like a good like
Cursor
month.
did it, so you decided
for a good like month or two. Like
Yeah.
I know. So like someone just introduced me to him, sort of thing, and it was just like, oh yeah.
So it wasn't to help sleep. Or
No, it
anything?
wasn't nothing like that. Someone was just like fucking around with it, and like he just introduced me to him. And I was just like, oh fuck, these are fun.
What's that high like? I've never done it. Is it weird?
Oh, I like it disgusts me now. You know what I mean? Like I look at it now, fucking chat because you turn into like a zombie. Just like
So it's kind of like cat in that way.
sort of, but like
Cat gives you energy. Though.
you know, cat's more like you can still be social. You know what I mean? On Xannies, you're just like proper because it's like it's
Proper
a,
brain dead.
Yeah, it's like anti.
It's kind of like heroin.
Yeah, I
then.
think it's like an anti-psych sort of thing. So it's like it just knocks you out sort of thing, but you're still like awake and shit. So like when you're on it, you don't remember anything. You turn into a fucking idiot. Like you just do dumb shit, like actual stupid shit. And yeah, I did that at school once. And like one of the teachers I fucking look up to real hard. I did it in his class, and I was like passed out in his class and shit.
Really?
Yeah, and then he had a fucking big dig at me the next day. He's like, "What?" He's like, "Oh, I'm not talking student to teacher. I'm talking, like adult to child. What the fuck is that about?" And like, fool just worded me up. And all that sort of shit.
What exactly happened? So you just passed out, or
No, I put my phone on charge at like the end of the class and shit, and I fucking like sat down next to my mate and shit, passed out next to him, like drooling out the mouth and shit, and then I woke up, crawled to the end of the class, grabbed my phone. It was like Wolf of Wall Street, the lemon moment, like when he's like crawling into the lemon.
Oh,
He's like,
yes,
"Whoa."
yeah.
It was legit like that, like shit, not man, because I had like a couple.
why'd you crawl to your phone?
Because my phone was on charge and I was just like half asleep, fell out my chair, just like quickly like crawled over to my phone and then just like went up to the door and just like stumbled out the like class and fell asleep in student services and then woke up at like 4:30.
Oh shit!
Yeah, to like Mr. Rennick and
yeah,
to like
he's,
Mr. Rennick and Miss
he's seen him in a singlet. Have you actually? Dude, I used to go.
Cunt is a rig.
He's rigged.
It is
He's
a
actually,
oh mate,
Dwayne the Rock Johnson, man. He's actually a killer.
He looks fucked. Dude,
Well-
like just an old fucking skeleton head looking.
Yeah,
like,
I always saw him in the button-up tops, and I was just thought, oh yeah, he just looked like a skinny dude.
Yeah,
and then I
bro.
started going to the high school like upstairs,
gym.
And like I saw him there, and I was like,
He's
"Oh, Mr. Okay, dude." And then he just like got off the bench. Like I saw these weights that he was like just benching. He got up and he's like, "Oh yeah, hey man," like said hello and
Dude
like he
is a
was jacked.
machine, bro.
He used to
real.
run to school, run to and from.
Really?
Yeah, every day because I started doing a Donnelly, like running around here and Donnelly, going around Donnelly's Weir.
Yeah.
And I'd see him same time I was running, and I would be like running back by the time he was running forward. But yeah. And I think he lived up there as well at that time.
No shit.
He was either running or walking. But I was like, oh,
no shit.
man,
He's a fit motherfucker, dude. That dude stays
man.
fit for sure for his age.
I wonder how old he is. I just want to ask.
How old? But yeah, I woke up to him and Miss Scotchmore. Fucking shout out to Miss Scotchmore. She was fucking. They were just like, "What's up?" I'm like, "Yo, see you later." And just dipped. Didn't say.
Oh, did ya?
Yeah, I didn't say a thing. I was just like, "Oh shit, had a nap. Sorry, far out. See you later," and just left.
And then what? They just let you?
Yeah, they just didn't question it or anything. They were just like, "Oh, we'll shut the doors and just." You're right, mate. They like woke me up. They're like, "Yo," and I'm like, "Yo."
So they must have just thought you were tired.
Yeah, they must have thought I was tired as or something. Because I woke up like, "Oh shit, oh whoa, oh far out, shit," and I just like kind of left like nothing happened. Like yeah,
wow.
And like the amount of times I'd just go in student services and shit and have a nap anyway. So it'd just be like normal for me to do that. Like so like, it is. But yeah, I did that shit for a bit, and then like I got caught. Like I went home. I went out with a mate, and like I came back like fucking off my face like an idiot, and I like spoke to my mum and shit, and she caught me out, and I was just like,
that woman's not afraid to call someone out.
yeah, and then
your
she
mum's
was like,
strong.
"Nah, we're fucking talking about this tomorrow and shit." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, true, and I thought about it. True. My mum spoke to me about it when she just properly spoke to me about it, and kind of worded me up about it, all that sort of shit. Why should I be doing it? That just made me switch straight away. I'm like, "No, fuck that shit." I stopped playing with them straight away, just instantly. Just fuck them, hate them.
Yeah, better stay on a better drug, man.
Yeah, 100%, man. Even
pot's
all
great.
drugs, all drugs. I don't even look at pot as a drug because I'm on the medical. Like I'm legally allowed to smoke medical weed. That joint we smoked before was medical weed. Those two joints.
Fuck off.
Yeah, like 25% THC.
Got some CBD in it as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, bro, it's proper medical weed and shit.
Why are you allowed that? How'd you get that hookup?
Relief Clinics, St Kilda, big ups.
Say it again.
Fucking Relief Clinics in St Kilda. So Relief. So like,
Relief. So RELEAF.
Yeah, that's it.
Relief St
Clinics
Kilda.
in St Kilda. I called up, got a consult, and just told him, my backstory, medical history, and all that sort of stuff, and told him I've been self-medicating since I was young and all that sort of stuff, and I have taken the routes of other medications for certain things, and I wasn't comfortable with them. I'm not comfortable with them, and I don't like that. Don't like all antipsychotics and all that sort of shit. Not a fan of them.
Stuff doesn't fucking work.
Yeah, and they just said, all right, well, you seem like you definitely fit the criteria, so yeah, I can get you a permit.
So how do you fit the criteria?
Basically, I just told them, like my, social issues, sleeping issues, my.
So you got to tell them you got issues. You can't tell them like, hey, look, I just really like pot and I want to get better stuff.
Yeah, I told them like all my anger issues and all that sort of stuff, and how I've been self-medicating and using it for I'm not using it recreationally and all that sort of shit.
Right. Yeah. So they'd rather someone use it if they're using it for like a medical purpose. They would rather have someone just smoke their stuff.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. So like if they
I didn't know that was a thing in Australia.
Yeah, man, it's that easy. They can't.
I thought medical marijuana was still illegal.
Yeah, but they can't advertise.
Huh.
You know what I mean? They're not allowed to advertise. They're not allowed to put themselves out there. It's just, come fucking see us. You know what I mean? They're not allowed to do that.
Fuck no.
Yeah. So,
so if you have a good enough reason.
Yeah, if you have, and I've also got like a fucking, when I was little at the skate park, I like ate shit when I was riding a scooter once, and I like fell back with a poo chute, landed on my arse real bad.
Yeah.
And like I fucked my coccyx bone. So like I've got like when I'm underweight and shit, like if I'm like not too underweight, like I'm alright now, but like if I'm a little bit like underweight, my fucking ass because like if I've got no cushion on my ass, man, like I can just feel my bones and shit when I'm sitting on my ass, and like it's just all fucked up, and I've got like a hairline crack in my coccyx bone and shit. And it's like
You got like any muscle in there, or
I do now, but like not like a few months ago. Like I was just like skin and bone and shit. But like
what happened a few months ago that caused that?
no, I've got like bad like eating problems and shit. Like I've had like eating problems.
Is that sort of how you became skinny after being overweight?
Yeah. So I started
common.
I started smoking weed. I started vomiting up my food after eating it and all that sort of shit. I started I stopped eating breakfast, lunch. I started only eating dinner at at night time and shit like that. And I couldn't even, my stomach shrunk to the point where I couldn't even eat my dinner and shit like that.
Yeah.
So like I could barely even eat. So like my stomach was that shrunk that I couldn't even fit in any food anymore. So it was just like a tiny bit a day. So I had to legit force food down for like ages to be able to get my stomach back to normal and be able to eat properly and shit.
How'd you conquer that demon?
To be honest, like it was going to the gym and shit like that, and like stopping smoking weed and stuff, and actually making my body crave it. You know what I mean? Crave food. You know what I mean? Like to the point where I couldn't function without it. You know what I mean? That was the only way I could really do it because I still am self conscious of my weight and all that sort of stuff. Always have been. But like when it comes to like putting on weight or like eating, I can't do it willingly. Like I can't be like I'm a binge eater and shit like that. Like I'm bad with it and all that sort of stuff. But like if I'm like if I say like I want to, how do I explain it? Like if I want to lose weight or something, I go real hard at it, and then I'll end up craving more food. So if I try losing weight, or if I try getting into shape, I end up getting out of shape because I go too far with eating food. And then I get stuck in this cycle of trying to lose that weight, and then I end up like
when you eat, what sort of food are you eating?
I'm fucking unhealthy as. I just eat like junk food and shit. Yeah, I'm bad as fuck with it. But like, I think that's like my main problem: diet and all that sort of shit.
Diet, man, makes a big difference to life. Yeah,
100%. But yeah, when I was younger, it was just like I didn't understand like that it was a problem. Like I didn't understand eating disorders or anything like that. I didn't even know what to think. You know what I mean? Like I just like thought like, oh fuck yeah, true. Like I'm smoking weed and I'm getting skinny. This is sick.
I do think that the awareness of these things have only really just come out.
Yeah, and the thing is, I didn't see it as like a, you know, like oh, I'm not eating to not eat or whatever to prove a point. I was actually not eating because when I started losing weight, that's when I started getting confidence. You know what I mean? I started going like, oh, fuck yeah, I look good and all that sort of shit. Like, sick, fuck yeah. And then I started getting addicted to not eating because I was addicted to, you know, losing weight fast. You know what I mean? So then it became from me not wanting to eat to lose weight to actually not being able to eat anymore. You know
new levels, new devils, my friends.
Yeah. So then
conquer one demon. Cut off one head to grow back.
Yeah, exactly. So now I'm at the point where like I'm in that vicious cycle where like if I'm either eating heaps and heaps of shit or I'm eating nothing. Like, and it's just so bad. And it's like it's not because I've got food at home and nothing. I'm just like my whole
habit
eating cycle is just so cooked, and it's just I got this as well. This isn't done.
Oh, cool.
But hanging out with Brad as well was also a big thing that helped my confidence as well, because like he was always the type of dude to just like Brad, he's a good looking dude, no homo, fucking like all that sort of shit, like fucking. And I was like the Jonah Hill, you know what I mean? He was like the Channing Tatum. He was like 21 Jump Street when we were hanging out, like younger and shit like that. And like fucking hanging out with Brad like made me realize like fuck, no one actually gives a fuck about what you look like, because cunts bagged him just as much as I got bagged. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that was like
people really don't care all that much.
Yeah, and it's not about. It's just about. And the thing is, people used to bag us and all that sort of shit, but we were just different. We were different in a way that now we're so happy with ourselves and we're completely confident in ourselves and everything like that.
Yep.
And the people that used to bag us, they're not. You know what I mean?
They got no power.
Got no power and all that sort of stuff, and they're not at that. You can tell that they're not confident in themselves like they used to be. Shit like that.
Anyone that needs to sort of shit on someone like really bad tends to think of the exact same thing that they're saying to those people as themselves.
Yeah. Like yeah. So hanging out with Brad made me like not really give a fuck about how I looked or anything like that. But like at the same time, I did. Brad brings out like the best in me for sure. It's just like it's hard. Like I can tell that he doesn't understand negative energy. Like like he literally doesn't understand it. You know what I mean? Like
What do you mean?
Like when negative energy is around him, he doesn't know how to act, and that's why I love him so much because he's that positive that he doesn't know how to work with negative energy. So you know what I mean? Like
Right.
when something
He
negative
just like pushes it away.
yeah,
kind of
like
thing.
he's just
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm not a part of that. Like I can't get in that conversation.
Yeah, he doesn't absorb it or
Yeah,
anything like that.
He doesn't
He's just-
absorb negativity like in that
Yeah.
way. But like everyone's got their own thing and stuff, all that sort of stuff. But when everyone's around Brad, anyone can tell you, like any one of his mates or anything like that, that dude is always trying to be the light of the room, and most of the time he is. You know what I mean? Because he's always taking the piss in some way, and he's always trying to make people laugh and shit. And that's why, like, I stopped really caring about what people thought. And like I still focused on confidence and stuff for myself, but I stopped caring about what people thought at the same time because with Brad, everything was just a fucking laugh. Who cares what people think? You know what I mean?
Good, like good person to look up to and take good
100%,
aspects of
man.
their
And the age difference
personality.
is a big thing as well. Because when we started hanging out, year 8 and year 10 is a big difference at that level. You know what I mean? Say like me and you talking isn't that much of a difference now because we're both like adults. But say
In
when
high school, it's really different. You
High
only hang
school-
out with your year level.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Someone that's 2 years younger than you, it's a little fucking kid. Fuck that little cunt, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So like me and Brad, me hanging out with Brad, and like I was always the type of kid because Dylan would always have his mates over and shit like that. I was always the type of kid to relate to the older humor, you know what I mean? And like humor that people my age didn't really understand and shit like that. So like when there was only a couple kids in my year level that had that humor.
Yeah.
And the kids that did have that humor didn't go to school anymore, you know what I mean? And shit like that. So, or like I didn't go to the same school with, you know what I mean? And or there was only like 2 people in school that had the same shit. But like, yeah, when I don't even know where I was fucking leading to.
How Brad and you like became friends in a way, and like how you related to him.
Yeah, no, it was just fucking easy to connect with someone that was always laughing. You know what I mean? Trying to fucking laugh all the time because that's what I was always trying to do. Just trying to laugh all the time. Like, you know what I mean? If you're hanging out with your friends, then like, have fun. You know what I mean? That's always what you got to do. Have fun and laugh and shit. And like, yeah,
It's good to be cheerful.
yeah, he's a fucking good man. He got me like my last 2 jobs. Like when I was at Garbo, he got me that job. He got me my job like for when I was doing bricklaying, labouring and shit.
Yep.
He got me that job and shit. Fucking Brad's a good man. Like the age difference is it's not really like something I recognise because we've been hanging out for so long.
And you're on the same level, I suppose.
Yeah, but when I think of when I was younger, he definitely had an impact on me because he was older and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like someone to look up to because I hung out with heaps of older kids and shit like that. And I looked up to them all in different ways and shit like that. And Brad was someone I always looked up to when it came to like fighting and all that sort of shit.
Oh yeah,
all that sort of shit. You know, like
he was doing something.
And, you know, and like doing something with yourself and all that sort of shit. And Brad's always pushed me to do something with myself. When it comes to music, Brad's always the one coming over going, "Fucking show me that song, fucking play that song for me," you know what I mean, and all that sort of stuff. And like Brad's always fucking push me to my fucking limit and shit. That's why I appreciate Brad because that's how he shows he's a good mate. He doesn't show he's a good mate by sitting there and going, "I'm here for you." You know what I mean?
He just acts it
behind the scenes. He'll do something for you. And
Yeah.
He'll go, "I've done this. Fucking do this. You better fucking do this." Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, "All right, fuck, do it." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And then I've ended up fucking. I've got a job that I've loved for like 8 months, or 7 months, or some shit like that. And like, yeah, like that all happened just because he like pushed me to do it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, "Oh, I've got this for you. Do you want to do it?" He was like, "No, do it." All right, fuck, sweet. Gave this chick my number. This chick called me. He's like, "All right, you want a job?" I'm like, "Yep, fuck. All right, sweet, cool."
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like,
he's not only just saying like, you know, you like I like you, Corey, you're a good bro, but like he's just
showing
he's
that,
out there,
showing that belief,
showing it.
You know what I mean? And like showing that he wants to see me do do better because he knows I've got it in me.
He's got your back, you know?
You know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
that's what
And
friends are meant for, you know, having each other's
100%, man.
back.
And him being older as well helped me because no matter what, someone that's older than you, you're always going to think they're wiser, even if they're not. You know what I mean? Even if you like, you're always just going to have that they're older than you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, because like, yeah, Brad's been older. It's just like, oh yeah, listen, I can't do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Older, like another older brother, really.
Yeah, 100%,
Yeah.
bro. And I look at all my mates like brothers and shit. Like I look at everyone like family. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because we all grew up together in certain hardships and all that sort of stuff that all kept us, separated from one each other at different points throughout the life and all that, like throughout teenage years and all that sort of shit. We weren't always together and stuff, but we were going through the same sorts of struggles that ended up bringing us all back together
Mm-hmm,
at the like end of high school years and shit. Like everyone ended up coming back together and realizing this is the group that we're meant to be in and shit. Now, everyone that
You got your brotherhood.
our whole group and shit was always like hanging out with different people all the time and shit like that, and we ended up forming into like the group and shit because we were like, oh yeah, this is like where it's at. So you know what I mean?
It's cool that you found your homies, man.
Yeah, 100%, man. And all my homies like have been at my house fucking constantly throughout like fucking the whole few years and shit. And I've had developed memories with them that I'll never forget and shit like that. So I call my homies family and shit because like we fought like brothers. We fucking.
It's
like
really
brothers
good when
and
you
shit.
fight with your friends. It actually shows that you're a lot closer than what you may
110%.
think on a given day. You know,
110%. And I've learned that a few times.
it means that you're honest with them too, and that's what you
100%.
want in a friend. You want honesty.
Exactly.
You know?
You need it. You can't. You think you're gonna have a healthy relationship with someone, and it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be perfect.
Yeah,
Then that's not.
that's a lie.
If you think a beautiful, perfect relationship with someone is when nothing happens and you two are just friends forever and it's all good and yada yada, you're dead wrong. That's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
The people that are like that are people that are going to be talking behind your back. The people that are really there for you and the people that actually give a fuck about you are the people that are in your face telling you to pull up if you're doing something wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the people that are fucking, extremely passionate with all their emotions with you. You know what I mean? And all that sort of shit. And
not afraid to tell you that you're just outright wrong and you're being
you know
stupid.
What I mean? And they're not afraid to fucking praise you as well. You know what I mean? Friends that aren't afraid to praise you as well are the best of friends because not being able to show love to someone that's doing. Everyone craves that. You know what I mean? Everyone craves to be told that they're doing well. You know
And everyone does better when people say that.
Exactly, man.
When you just keep that in, it's not like
and if you've got a healthy friendship with homies where you can support each other in that way, like where it's like they do something, it's fuck yeah, bro, good shit. You know what I mean? Or you do something, they say the same shit to you, or like it's not just like, oh yeah, cool. You know what I mean? Like it's, you know what I mean? Like like I've got a lot of mates that like with my music and stuff, they don't like a lot of some of my best mates and stuff. They're not really. I can tell they're not really into my music. Or
It's
like,
not their style.
It's not their thing. And that's them sort of thing. I'm not expecting them to go share all my music and all that sort of shit. But like, I just
That's also a good thing.
Yeah, like
if everyone just loves your music, it's like variety.
Like, everyone's gonna talk about it all the time.
Yeah, like the things that I listen to these days, man. Because I don't listen to hip hop anymore. That was like that was a different man.
Oh, I listen to everything.
I'm a different person
I'm
now.
the same, bro.
Yeah,
I don't just listen to hip hop. Because I've got my mum's taste in music a lot. Like I love classic rock and all that sort of shit. Like all that sort of shit. Alice Cooper, like Ozzy Osbourne. All
love
that
stuff,
shit.
man.
Yeah. Like fucking, the Rolling Stones as well. Fucking, I've got Rolling Stone, Gathers No Moss, all that sort of shit. My mum's got that tattoo as well. Like all that sort of shit. Yeah, like I fucking, yeah, bro. Like you can't be an artist and listen to one genre of music.
You need variety.
You need variety because if I'm just going to listen to because hip hop, if you think about it, it's taken a lot from like classic soul music as well and all that sort of shit. Like producing, it's everything's based off like old hip hop, based off like samples and all that sort of shit. You're taking shit out of music, bringing it back to life. You know what I mean? Like through when it comes to vocals or even drums or anything. You know what I mean? You're taking it out of old music and putting it into something. That sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's it, man.
And that shit's the sickest out when it that's why I love old music as well, because I can find shit. You know what I mean? Like to pick apart. This little part, you know what I mean? And like that's just a little extra, like part of loving old music and shit like that. But yeah, no, old music and just like classical shit. is what I
Yeah,
love,
that's
man.
why music is like really beautiful, because it really does just, it develops. And like with hip hop in particular, it's quite interesting because you have, you know, this like culture in like a small pocket in like New York, from where I'm from what I've like read and like what I've heard, it's primarily New York and just like the outer suburbs.
Yeah.
That it all started, and like people just different cultures from around the world were there, and everyone was just like, you know, really against each other. You know, the Irish hated the Brits, and the Brits hated the, you know, Africans and everything. You know what I mean? But it was very separate. And then you have, you know, the generation of the migrants, right? The kids, and they start going to school together, and like, you know, some of them communicate, and they were vibing, you know. And then you had music that came along with that once they got older, and you have something really quite interesting, because you have different types of music coming into the culture. You have different dance moves. I mean, fucking breakdancing, man. I mean,
Shit's crazy, bro.
like, dude, you look at the original dancers, and then you look at like, you know, so old style like Eastern European dancers. Like, you know, have you seen that those Looney Tunes episodes where like those Russian guys are wearing the big fucking hats, and they're on their knees and they're like this, and they're kicking with their feet. That hip hop stole that. That's a classic CC, bro. You just like kick your
100%.
legs, and then you kick your legs and you land on your like arms.
Nah, I never even fucking
That came from that, man. That came from that. So did a whole bunch of other moves from classical dance. So ballet, contemporary, jazz was a big one. Jazz was very big. You also had like, you know, Irish dancing. Fucking all of that stuff, man. People just brought that in, changed the moves slightly to add to their own flavor, plus the music, plus the rap, plus the culture. Boom, you have a whole new dance. This is where hip hop is so fascinating.
Oh man, you can create something out of so many things that have happened and turn it into something completely different, used from all of them. Inspiration is everything when it comes to hip hop. You know what I mean? Like everything needs, you use inspiration to make something. You know what I mean? Like everything's based off inspiration from something. You know what I mean? The whole atmosphere of hip hop. You know what I mean? Like a live show with like all the artists that are there, the crowd, like the amount of, when I've been to like the Wombat show that I went on stage on, the whole atmosphere of, you know, people going in the toilets and fucking graphing up the toilets and shit like that. Everyone just got, like doing chants and shit, like when something happened, like crowd chants and shit like that, and just the whole atmosphere of hip hop, man. Like everything coming into one and all that sort of shit, and like people dancing, doing all that sort of shit, dancing, rapping, graphing, everything all coming into one and shit. Just like there's no life I'd rather be in, you know what I mean? Like there's no other art I'd rather be a part of. Like it's legit magic, man. Like when I went to the second Wombat show and I was on stage, I was completely sober. I forgot to lead to this before. I was completely sober, and because I was off the chuff for 2 weeks or something. And me and my mate Matt, we were both off the chuff. Shout outs, fucking Matt. But we were both off the chuff for 2 weeks or something, and we looked at each other that night, like halfway through the night, or like after we were on stage and shit. And both of our eyes were dilated, like just like we were off our face, and we were completely sober. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Like
just the overall
sober.
high of being in that area. Yep. Energy is quite interesting, eh? And
100%, man. 110%. And it was like the first time I've ever noticed that happening. I'm like, what the fuck am I? Like, why do I look like I'm fucking gacked right now? Like, why do I look like I'm off my face? But
you know what's interesting about like ancient tribal rituals? Some for like journeys and psychedelic experiences to meet the gods, as it were.
Yeah.
A lot of them would just they'd fast for 3 days and dance for 3 days. So dance all night, have some breaks during the day, but they just dance all night, all day, fast, and then they'd have these experiences with you know, spirits or the gods, or, you know, whatever sort of word you want to put, the psychedelic experience. Like they would have because you can get yourself into a psychedelic experience just through certain ritual / movement. You know,
110%.
Kundalini yoga is quite cooked.
Mm.
Like I've never done it. I've just listened to so many people talk about it, and like you can get like fully like as if you took an acid tap. It's well, yeah, it doesn't last as long, and it's probably not as intense, but you have a similar sort of experience.
Euphoric.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So yeah, man, it's
Cool.
it's quite interesting where like these people, tribal people, when they did ritual, they would just dance fast, and they didn't take anything else. There was nothing else, and they would have a psychedelic experience from that. And it could have been hours, it could have been minutes, different for everyone, I would guess.
Yeah. Far.
Yeah, so you can get high as fuck to stop dancing.
Shit, yeah, full on, man. Like high on life. That's what they call it. Man.
Yeah.
Like, I believe in that shit completely, and I've experienced it firsthand. Like I was just the energy that night when all that shit was happening. It was just like the best night of my life, man. It was just like holy shit. Like, I don't know how Jack. You know, like hard to explain. It's just hard to explain. But
like a dream.
Yeah, like that, man. And it was like it legit worked out like a dream. I met one of my favorite artists. And he fucking loved my music and shit, and it was just like, fuck, like, it just didn't feel right.
So
like,
surreal.
Yeah, it feels
it's amazing that you've come so far, man.
Yeah, it felt like something that just like it was always something I thought of, like magic. Like you know what I mean? Like like bullshit, and then it's just boom in your face. Like,
that's why it's so important that when you find something and you're exploring you and what you may like.
Yeah.
When you find something and you just stick to it.
Yeah, and if you get that
you just
feeling
put
from
years
it,
in it,
or if you get someone and that's the thing, I only stuck to it because I had people telling me to stick to it. You know what I mean? I had people telling me, "Holy shit, you've got something." You know what I mean? And that made me go, "All right," sort of thing. There's the amount of times I've never thought I want to quit music or anything like that. I've never thought anything like that. But there's been times where I've thought like, "Oh, no, people love my music. I need to get cracking, you know what I mean? I need to get right, all that sort of shit, you know what I mean? I use that as inspiration to keep going, you know what I mean? Like, and when people tell you, like what you're doing is good, you just want to stick to it.
Yeah.
When you stick to something, no matter what it is, if you think you're good at something, you got that feeling, you stick to it, you're gonna get real good at it.
Oh, you'll make something happen because you just put in time and you put in hours, and something's going to manifest as a byproduct. Like some sort of.
But you can't jump in expecting it. You know what I mean?
Oh no! I mean, look where you start. You started from 4 years ago, and now was it 10 songs you released?
9 songs.
Like I've got 9 songs released, but how many songs have you written? Like hundreds.
Like I've probably like up to 100 songs or something. Like all up with different.
That's
shit.
hours, man. That's work, and
I've got
now
like
you're here.
notes on notes. And like if I pull out my notes, man, it just goes forever. Like some shit isn't songs, but like if I go down, it's just like songs.
Yeah. You're scrolling down that pretty quick.
It goes
too.
all the way back to 2018.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
So is it the same phone or?
No, it's just like my iCloud. So I got like
Nice.
all my notes and shit. I carry over and shit.
Wow.
Yeah,
Man.
so I got all my notes from like 2018 and stuff.
Yeah. See, that's what happens when you just put time into something. You have your first day, and then you have like your first year. Yeah. Something may happen in between, maybe nothing big. Then you have second year, third year. When you're at something for 4 years, something's going to happen. I mean, look at what has it presented to you now. Now it's like, is this the first time you've done a podcast?
Yeah. I did like a radio segment, got like interviewed and shit.
How long was that for?
Oh, it was like probably like an hour or something.
Yeah. And was it very like just conversation like or? Yeah.
It was like I got to like I rap. I did like a little like rap over like a beat and shit on the mic and shit.
Yeah.
It was just on the radio. And shit. So.
Yeah. Well, now you're on a fucking podcast, and now you're doing shit, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's fucking awesome. And
you wouldn't be able to go on like on an interview without having something.
Yeah.
Like
legit.
Yeah.
Legit. And like
I was so keen to have you on because I knew you've been working on this on rapping for a few years now, and I was like, like absolutely you can jump on, like be good to talk to you. And like I remember you from when I was friends with Moose, you know, so I know you. I know you're a cool dude.
Yeah, bro. Same goes. And like like if I can't remember what I was gonna say, but like if I don't know what I was gonna say. Fuck. But no, like
Wasn't important enough.
It was
clearly.
something. It was something about podcasts. Something about podcasts. But no, like I've I just never thought it'd be like happening. You know what I mean? I never thought it'd be like a. I don't look at it as like oh yep, this is happening. Cool. Yep, I've done this. I've done that. I just look at it as like this is the scene sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like if you're doing something, you put it out there that you're doing something. You know what I mean? Everyone that's doing something, no matter what art it is, no matter what passion you got, put it out there. You know what I mean? Like if you're, making clothes, you're fucking making beats, you're fucking, drawing, fucking painting, doing whatever. Put yourself out there because someone can tell you you're good, and then it's going to push you up to go further.
Yeah, I mean, and you don't, and it was really interesting what you said before, like how you don't see yourself, being like making so many serious money with this rapping. Like you don't reckon it's possible
No.
for an Australian rap artist, anyways. I mean, fuck you. Yeah, you might be right. Maybe you have to. Well, it's very often to have a side hustle in the industry. For every dancer, man, they usually have until they're very pro. They always have some sort of side hustle, whether it's teaching or anything.
With the album I'm working on, like when I've got the 20 tracks or whatever, put together and shit, I want to do a vinyl print, vinyl.
Nice.
Record shit.
Yeah,
I want to do
that'd be sick.
Yeah, just do one release, of 100 or something like that. I want to give it all out to the artists that are jumping on the album as well, and producers and stuff. Give one to them and then sell the rest, sort of thing.
That's cool.
Piece or some shit.
Yeah.
And
but yeah, you never can make money just off doing the music. You have to have other types of
and
avenues.
the scene that I'm in, it's underground. You know what I mean? It's not big. You know what I mean? There are all the music I like and all the lyricists that I listen to and shit. They're not fucking huge rappers. You know what I mean? They're all local people and shit like that. And I'm talking now. Now, all the Aussie rap that I listen to, it's a lot of there's these dudes, Ringwood Records, coming out of Ringwood. They were on Posse Shot's album that came out recently, and they're fucking working on a bunch of dope shit, doing heaps of cool shit, putting on the area. And there's this other dude from, I think it's Bendigo or Ballarat. His name's Setho. He's a fucking real dope artist. O1 Eka, Rangers. Fucking who else is there? There's a couple other people out there. There's a couple other people. But I've been pumping a lot of local shit recently. And that's fucking it's good taste sort of thing.
Yeah.
Fucking being able to relate to actual local shit sort of thing. It's all fucking close to home. It's hard to listen to Sydney rap and stuff. I love Sydney rap. Sydney rap's sick. And heaps of rappers coming out of Sydney, but because the scene I'm in is so small, sort of thing, I'm relating to all these dudes heaps at the moment because I'm just another small artist trying to come up, all these dudes and shit. So I've been listening to a bunch of these dudes and shit. And
there's a big power in doing local events too.
Yeah, and if I'm looking at all the views that these dudes get, and I'm looking up to all these dudes in the scene, they're not getting fucking millions of views. They're not getting heaps of money from rap. They're not getting all that sort of shit. They just love rap. You know what I mean? And they're the people that I look up to because they're not looking at it as I'm going to buy my mum a house. I'm going to fucking get a Rolex with this. You know what I mean? No, because you're not.
They're just doing it because they love it.
You know what I mean? The thing is, you gotta, if you wanna, I don't reckon anyone should ever jump into any type of art for the money.
Yeah.
Any
type
of any type of art, whether it comes to actual art, painting, or producing or anything like that. I don't reckon anyone should get into that unless they actually are passionate about it. You know what I mean?
If they do it without money, then that means they're in the right industry.
Yeah, legit. Because it's the people that do it for the money that actually ruin it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, it just makes it look bad. It makes the other people. It makes all the people that actually do it for the love look bad.
How so?
See, I see a lot of people out there. Because you got the people that are doing it for the money that are the most recognised.
Right.
You know what I mean? The people that are doing it for the money are the big artists. The people the Chillinets, the fucking Curses, all that sort of shit. Right now, they're big, they're huge. They're doing it to make money and shit at this point. So that's what the average listener, the average Aussie hip hop listener goes to when you hear Aussie hip. When you go to the average listener, they'll say, "Oh yeah, chilling it," or like cursor, like all that sort of shit. But when someone that's educated on the scene and all that sort of shit, like none of them, they'll say the underground artists. Like I'll talk to people that are educated, really educated on the scene, and they're always, I'm like, "Who's your favorite artist?" And they'll be just saying underground artists and shit like that.
Mm.
And it makes me realize, like, if that's the scene I love and want to be in, none of these people are in there thinking that they're going to make money. You know what I mean? All that sort of shit. So
that's where you want to be.
yeah. So I reckon the people that are making all the money in from it and all that sort of shit, they're making everyone else just look like tryhards.
Yeah.
And they're not looked at as underground, or they're not looked at as like, actually.
That's interesting.
They don't get appreciated for their actual art. They're just looked at as tryhards because they're not on that level. You know what I mean? Because there's no grey area. You're either something in the Aussie hip hop scene, getting a lot of money, or getting shows and shit, or you're coming up. There's no middle section. You know what I mean?
There's no just underground doing it for fun.
Yeah, there is, but like it's not as big as like we want it to be. You know what I mean? Like there's a scene, and it's fucking huge, and it's getting bigger, but it's not known around. Like it's not.
I suppose it is still young.
Yeah,
right?
it's still young for sure, but like it's not like household names yet. You know what I mean? Like we don't have we've got like household names in Melbourne rap and all that sort of shit. Of course we do, but like it's not on that Eminem spec, not on that top tier spec.
Sadly enough, this realm requires a hierarchy, and the hierarchy is evident everywhere. It's a byproduct of human nature. Apparently hierarchy is just older than culture. Like it's just a really old thing. There's always someone on top. There's always someone on bottom.
Always.
I suppose it makes sense. I mean, everyone's got to start from something. And if you are, here and this other person is starting where you were 4 years ago, I mean, it's pretty logical to think that that's the way it is. More people are going to know about him because he's just been around longer. But then you have people who are, I guess you just grow over time, but yeah.
Yeah, nah, like, you're right. I just reckon.
I bet you wouldn't guess how long we've been on this for.
Nah, I wouldn't even remember. I actually just fucking zoned out.
We're at 2 hours 40 minutes.
Really? Holy shit!
2 hours 47.
Time's flown.
Yeah.
Holy fuck!
I actually, as soon as you came in here and we started, like we talked like half an hour before we started this, mate. Once it got to like 10 minutes, I was like, oh wow, this is going to be a very easy podcast.
Yeah,
this is very easy.
I don't.
You're good to talk to, man.
Yeah, man. I don't like going in there with an aim. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about this. Let it flow. Like that's the way I like it. Because if it was all planned and like all that sort of shit, and we have like all these subjects to talk about, it's not
authentic, is it?
Yeah, it's not.
That's what makes a good podcast, in my opinion, is when it's just a conversation and it develops very naturally. Yeah. Like with Brad, it was a bit more script, at least in terms of like questions that I had.
Questions and shit is different. Yeah. But when it comes to like subjects to talk about, I always thought I've always thought I want to start a podcast. Like always been like a thought, and I'd be like, and I've like a bunch of questions to talk about, like asking like, a bunch of subjects to talk about, and then I think about it like, hang on, that means it wouldn't be natural at all, and it would just be scripted.
It would feel like when people get interviewed on the news. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's very much like just. You can just tell it's unauthentic. You tell they just wrote it down for like 2-3 hours beforehand.
And they're reading a question. They're actually asking. They're going, what's next? Okay. You know what I mean? They're not actually see, the thing is, you're actually asking, just genuinely asking, like, what's going on? Why this? Why that? You know what I mean? It's different between like letting someone talk. Okay, next topic.
Yeah.
Letting someone talk. Okay, next topic. Letting someone talk. Next topic. You know what I mean? Like, fuck that. I reckon it's
yeah, no one likes those type of fucking podcasts. Oh, maybe some, but
some people.
I guess everyone's got like a vibe, you know?
100%. Some people can't hack like the whole like podcast thing. some people can't hack the whole like.
What do you mean by hack?
Oh, like some people can't like just don't like it. You know what I mean? Like, just, some people just don't really like aren't into it yet. Like,
That was
like,
especially true when I was like 19, because I was listening to Joe Rogan podcast on like episode like 160 or something. I think it was, I don't know, because there's a video because I was really into motivational videos when I was like 17. Like I just loved watching like Eric Thompson, bloody like Les Brown, and like these motivational speakers, right? Yeah. And then there was this conversation with Joe Rogan, Duncan Trussell, and I think his name's Christopher something. But yeah, they had this like 5-6 minute bit on I don't know, it was something that was like very real, very true, and it was like mid conversation, and I can't remember what it was about, but it captivated me, and I clicked the link, and then I listened to the whole podcast. And I was like, wow, there was just so much to. I was like, oh my god, you know. But back then, you told people you listen to podcasts. Some people didn't even know what a podcast was.
Yeah, legit.
Yeah,
110%. See, I even only the past 2 years or whatever, like past year, 2 years.
Yeah,
I've actually gotten into it.
It's gotten massive last 2 years.
And it has gotten massive. Yeah, 110%. But yeah, no, there's still like some people that like to see like like say want to play a podcast in the car or something like that, and like. I've spoken about it with people. How can you just sit there and listen to someone talk while you're driving? And it makes me think,
it's just like having like a friend there. In all retrospects,
like sometimes you could even feel like you can talk back to the conversation. Like, you know what I mean? Like fucking answer your own questions. And podcasts make you think all the time.
Yeah, it's good. Yes.
Make you think all the time. Like almost every podcast I've listened to, I've thought about it.
Yeah, because people have a lot of wisdom just deep inside, and unless you have the conversation with them, you don't really know. Unless they're like have a YouTube channel or like they're teaching people it. Yeah. But you know, the best thing about the podcast is that there's a lot of just like hidden knowledge that's just like sort of tapped in people's psyche. That
it doesn't come out.
It doesn't really come out. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, 100%. Like people, you don't really have a rough idea on how that person thinks without having a conversation with them.
Yeah.
You know, 100%. If they're just like teaching you something, you're like, oh yeah, like that's that's them, but you don't understand the true depth of what's going inside their head. Yeah, that's right. It's not, if you have a 3-hour fucking conversation with someone, you know that person like tenfold much more. You know, tenfold. Like,
fuck yeah.
I've already learned so much from talking with you.
Yeah,
like
100%,
it's
it's just about being open. Conversation too.
Yeah, you have to enjoy it too.
You gotta fucking you gotta try not to take offense to anything, all that sort of stuff. Never I always just assume that every person I talk to has a completely different output on life than me, sort of thing. So you just gotta try and understand that person before you you know what I mean? Like always try and understand the person before sort of shit. It's like even how we spoke for like half an hour before we started. Look how that turned out.
It was a really good warm up.
Yeah, like 110%. Like I reckon being able to kind of really know that someone's open to conversation and all that sort of shit, warm up and all that sort of shit helps shit like this so much.
Oh yeah,
110%. Yeah. Because if we just jumped in, was like, all right, let's do it. Would have been like.
Yeah, well, Brad and I went for a walk together with Isaac.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, so that was like our like little warm up because like I wanted to, you needed that, It was really good. I didn't want to just like jump in, just interview him, Nah, good warm up is really like I think I'll do that with like every guest to be honest. Like just have get their vibe, and then I don't know, maybe go for a walk with them or just like sit back, have a cup of coffee, it's
fucking good vibe.
I feel it, man. I mean, like it just feels good. It feels
good host, man, for sure, 110%.
Thank you, man.
Once you get more people on this and shit, I reckon, for sure.
Yeah,
110%, bro. Just gotta fucking get more people.
Yeah, I mean that's it, man. I mean, I'm sending emails out. I'm trying to make every Friday like a full work day. Like that's podcast day.
The thing is, like when there's people out there doing stuff for themselves, they want people to know. So it's
Yeah.
like you can't really run out of people. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like you
yep.
just got to find them.
Yeah,
That's
as long as you're curious and
Yeah.
exploratory enough, and you
100%.
also have some things to say,
Yeah.
like if you know,
You got views
uh,
of your own and all that.
exactly,
sort of
yeah.
stuff,
If you think for yourself,
Yeah.
as it were, you know,
100%. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. You're not just a listener. You're a talker.
yeah,
Yeah. Fuck yeah. 100%. But yeah, I reckon we might have to fucking
yeah. I
wrap it up
mean,
in a sec, bro, 'cause-
2 hours 55. Do you have anything you want to say? Like any shout outs? Do you want to? Oh, when are you next performing? Tell us what you're doing
next
now.
performing, I will get the address. Not the address. I will get the fucking date up right now. So I will be performing at. I didn't even fucking post it. Where is it? I got onto a show. Big ups to Crooks. He got me onto a show called Rise of the Underground with bunch of dope artists. Benny D, Crooks, Branchy MC, Seth. I think it's Sedic MC. Neil Beeman, Hey Chillo, Shooks, Strike One, myself, The Paradox, Rewards One, Damien Illick, and Manic, and GNS, Selby, and Gar. That'll be on Friday, the 3rd of March at Bad Decisions Bar, 16 Johnson Street, Fitzroy. Sponsored by Low Key and Lockjaw Recordings. That is going to be dope as fuck. Heaps of dope artists on that one, I'm keen as. But yeah, that'll be when I'm next performing. And I'm working on an album. Bittersweet. Don't know when it's going to be out. Not really putting a date on it, but 20 tracks or so with a bunch of dope cunts, fucking featuring from Cogs, Indigo Merkaba, possibly Wombat, Dib from Ringwood Records, and Komodo from 9 to 5, and Fresh Junior, my brother from 37, and yeah, with a bunch of producers from like ranging like El Jacko from also Ringwood Records, Beads Beats, Bro 58, Grief Gang, Dayon from Grief Gang, and Insidious as well. So yeah, fucking get keen for that. Word 'em up.
How can people? Do you have socials?
Yeah, hit us up on Instagram, Scumro, or my Facebook, Scumro, and YouTube as well. And yeah, I'm on Spotify and SoundCloud as well.
And you
under
just look up Scumro.
Yeah, Scumro. SUMRO. That's
Cool.
it. 37.
That's it, man. All right.
Fuck yeah. Pleasure talking with you, man.
Dude, thank you so much. It was an absolute honor to have you.
Fucking oath. I appreciate it.
Cheers. All right, everyone. That's us. And yeah, see you guys next week. See ya.
Peace out. 37.